righty. Hey, world, what's good? It's your boy LG, and we are here with another episode of Black Male Gamers Podcast. I think this is what, number 3? Yeah, number 3. And we're gonna have some topics today. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm happy for it. I'm the one hosting it. I hijacked it. The Emperor has hijacked Black Male Gamers. And we are here. Y'all forget my voice. I sound like this. I don't know why I sound like this. I'm trying to figure it out. But while I'm figuring it out, we got a special guest in here. But before we get into our special guest, I gotta share with y'all some funny shit. Okay. I gotta share with y'all this, okay?
Stupid.
Yeah, I need a man who never looked at other women. The response: National Society of the Blind and Partially Sighted. I'm sorry. Hey, you get what you asked for. You get what you asked for, and she totally asked for it. All right. Let's stop sharing. We got a nice little panel here today. We got a nice little panel. We are going to start with. Let me see. We're gonna go this way. All right, Zone. Let me see. Hit the button. Come on. There we go. Zone. Tell them who you are. How you doing? How you living? How you feeling? Tell people about yourself.
What's up, guys? My name is The Gaming Zone. I've been a gamer for over 25 years. The earliest I can remember gaming was since I was like 7 years old. It relates into me. I have sickle cell, so I have a lot more time on my hands to game than probably a lot of other people. Not, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a gamer, right?
All right, my bad. I'm muting myself for about a split second. I had to cough up alone. My bad. All right, got you. Let me exit that layout. Next up, we gonna go with another newbie. We're gonna go with the other newbie. I'm doing this a little different right now. We're going with the other newbies that we have seen here. Jay Wolfies, if I saying that right? Wolfies?
Yeah, you got it right.
There we go.
Yeah, how you doing? My name's Jay Wolfies. How you doing? How you living? I'm doing great. How are you? So I've been gaming for for as long as on here, and I've done everything from owning my own esports organization, from TOing at Evo, from running online and offline brackets. So when it comes to gaming and esports, I've pretty much done it all.
Okay, so you the esports guy. I might have to come talk to you. Talk to you. We're gonna talk about brackets. I got an idea for something.
I got
like several ideas. All right. Miss your behavior.
Hey, what's up? Y'all already know me. I'm Mr. Behavior. I am a gamer forever. I make video games. I'm a game developer.
And he's gaming right now.
And I'm playing right now. I'm playing a game right now as I talk.
Gaming is in his blood, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So game developer. I'm occasional streamer, content creator, make music, do all that kind of stuff. Been playing games, since I was a little kid. So probably longer than these guys because I'm 36. So it's been like 30 something years for me.
Yep.
Y'all already know who I am.
Yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure?
I've been on this shit before.
Yeah. Hey, we always got to introduce people because you never know who's watching. You never know. It could be
Behavior, like M Bison, but behavior.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Oh God. Oh Jesus. But yo, I am of course your boy LG. We are here live. I do music, I do gaming, I do vlogs, I do a whole lot of stuff. I've been doing video editing. Man, what's that? What is that? DaVinci Resolve is a hell of a program.
Oh, yeah.
I love that program. It's actually fun. I paid the $300 for it. So
did you?
Oh yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. If you're going that route, it's definitely fun. Been gaming for a while. Man, I've been gaming for since I was about 2-3 years old, 6 years old. I don't know. The first game I remember playing was fucking Super Mario Bros. On the NES. But as you can see by my shirt, I am a Sonic fan. No question. Still think Sonic will kick Mario's ass any day of the week. And
well, see that in Smash Brothers. You could.
Yeah, Smash Brothers doesn't count. That's a party game. I don't care what nobody. That is a party game. But big ups to Disparity before we get into it. I want to say big ups to Disparity for and everybody at the crew for putting this joint together. it's always a fun time. Always a fun time. And, we definitely got to get more in. Get more people in and start talking with Black male gamers. So before we get into the topics, man? What's the games that y'all playing? I know what Mr. Behavior's playing.
Well, they don't know. They don't know what I'm playing.
Mr. Behavior's playing that
I'm playing Marvel Rivals.
The Marvel Overwatch game.
Marvel Watch. Yeah,
Marvel Watch.
Yeah.
Dude, you said that Marvel
Tekken,
Watch.
That's it. That's all I'm playing. That
the Tekken. Zone, what you running, man? What you been running, man?
I'm playing Path of Exiles. The new update just dropped yesterday, and I'm going to be dead to the world for a good little bit.
He's like,
is that Path of Exile 2? That's the sequel, right?
No, 2 don't come out till next year. They pushed it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they pushed it. Oh, they pushed it back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I thought they said it was coming out sometime this year, but I guess they pushed it back. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfies, what games you been playing, man?
I'm in the lab. I'm in the lab with Tekken 8.
Okay.
Fiona Evo just like reignited my this fire for competitive.
Yeah.
So I'm back in the lab in Tekken.
Who are you playing on Tekken? What character?
Playing June.
Okay.
I used to be an Armor King main. Hopefully he comes back like in P7. But playing June, and she's a lot of fun. But man, I cannot get past Azucena. I can't get past her.
Oh yeah, I love that character.
I am trying hard to learn her moves so I can get past. Yeah, because
she's good.
Her and King are my 2 worst matchups.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I was having a hard time against LG's Jacket yesterday. We played some matches. I got two rounds off. Two matches off of him. I was like, all right, I'll take that.
And actually, that was actually literally the most I played since like about a day, like since a couple of weeks ago. Honestly, I was like, I ain't played a lot.
We played like 5 sets or something.
I've been playing like what games was I playing? I just got finished playing. I was playing some more of I hop back into Seafood because I saw good to play it. I was playing more of I've been playing a whole lot of games. I've been messing around with NBA 2K23. I've been working on a little season thing for that. I've been messing with the Crash trilogy joint.
The Insane trilogy.
Yeah, I'm on Crash 2 right
fun.
now. Oh man, one of the best remakes ever.
It's really good. Yeah.
If you're gonna remake a game, I always say if you're gonna remake a game, that is a prime example of a really good remake.
Yeah.
An amazing remake. Damn near 1-to-1. Like damn near 1-to-1.
Yeah, and
they
did a great job of modernizing it too, and adding some more modern features and stuff.
Exactly. When we want that's what we want. When I say we want stuff like that for modern, the modernizing it, that's what we mean.
Like don't try too hard. You don't have to try too hard. Just
don't force the politics. It's a platformer. You can't go wrong. You can't fuck up a platformer.
You can fuck it up.
You can definitely fuck it
up. Hey, but just with SNK versus Capcom Chaos,
I've been playing that a little bit.
I haven't.
That game is so fun.
I look in fighting games. I love getting my ass whooped, but God, I can't with that game, bro.
Really? That game is so underrated. I think
it's so underrated, but that's what I love about it. It's such a hidden gem.
Yeah, and it really is.
And it makes you enjoy fighting games a lot more because that feeling you get when you're in a good fight, and it's like, okay, I mean, I lost that round, but we coming back next time. I gotta get in training for a little bit.
It's obtainable. Yeah, it's obtainable. It's one of those things where it's obtainable. You feel like it's you're going against somebody that this is winnable for me. This is beatable for me. I can do it. It's challenging. It's that good kind of challenging where it's right on the end of so it's like a spectrum, right? With difficulties like a weird ass spectrum. So you got like regular challenges, and then you got like easy. I can do this regularly, easy, and then it's like too easy over here, and then you got like this is challenging. It's hard. It's tough to overcome, but I can do it. And then on the other end of that, you got like, I can't do this for shit. Somebody get task. Where's the task speed run? I need somebody.
The thing about SNK versus Capcom that's really weird is like it has a lot of really broken characters in it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the secret characters are just crazy broken. So like
Yes.
Firebrand is one, Mars People is another one that's just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
if somebody like I always ban those characters from my lobbies because you can do that in the new one. Because if somebody picks that, you're just gonna lose. Like it's just like you can't do anything. There's just like all types of crazy projectiles coming at you. But then it has like those X seed moves that you can use once per game. You know, like the super strong like super moves.
Yeah.
And it adds another layer of strategy to it. That game is just so great. I love the sprite work, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It looks the game looks pretty good. It always has looked good. I remember playing the game on an arcade emulator I had.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, that's when I kind of played it, and it was like SVC Chaos. I'm like, what is this? Oh, okay, it's not bad. It's a Capcom game. I mean, an SNK game, but it's not bad. This is when we first saw Violet Ken.
Yep.
You know, we saw, I think Zero was the first time for Zero. Not X.
No,
not X.
it's Zero from the Mega Man ZX series. It's that version of Zero.
Yeah.
And then you have that game technically wasn't even made by SNK though. It was made by Playmore.
Yeah, Playmore, but then I think Playmore went bankrupt.
Yeah,
I want to say Playmore went bankrupt, and then that's how you have SNK Playmore.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, I know a little something up here, a little bit something. You know, sometimes it sucks that sometimes over time, games degrade. But you're all right. Speaking of things degrading, we're gonna go ahead and get to our first topic here. FTC claims Xbox's Microsoft's Game Pass. You can read the goddamn title. FTC claims Microsoft's Game Pass has degraded. Microsoft insists this isn't the case. Okay. FCC is worried that Microsoft's Game Pass might be getting worse, like my voice. But Microsoft strongly denies FTC claims of a degraded version. This is just a little bit of this. Like some of these. I've noticed some of these whatchamacallits are a little bit weird. These articles are a little weird looking into this stuff. But like honestly, I don't. So with Xbox Game Pass, right? This is me personally. Maybe we can talk about this, right? With Xbox's Game Pass, I think people are using it wrong. I think people have been using it wrong. I think people once again with people being lazy. I think people have used this. It's supposed to be a rent to like a trial service. You know what I'm saying? Some people, I guess, still kind of think of it as a rental service, like a new version of Blockbuster, if you will. I think, I mean, it can be used like that, but I think it should be more along the lines of a trial service. Because I think if for those of y'all who have Game Pass, you can confirm this, that if you do get a game off Game Pass, there is a discount for getting it off of Game Pass. So I think
so if you have Game Pass, you can buy a lot of those games on discount. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So like if you got it on Game Pass, like say Halo on Game Pass, you like it, you want to keep it, you can keep it forever. You know what I'm saying? And it can go on your Game Pass. You can go have it on your console. So when it does go off Game Pass, you can still keep the game. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it's designed to be. But I think so many people are using it as a rental service. And they're like some people are getting mad that some games are going off Game Pass. They're not. I think it's because they're not fully utilizing it. But what do you guys think?
Well, I think the thing about Game Pass is like a couple of problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are, like, to your point, there is that incentive to like buy a game if it's on Game Pass so that you keep it when it comes off. Like I've done that with like Hi-Fi Rush, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I played Hi-Fi Rush when it came out. I thought it was great. I bought the game. Now I own it, right?
Right.
So there's that. But then there's also another component to Game Pass, which is all of the like Sega games and Microsoft first-party games are always on Game Pass day one, and they stay there, right? So games like Persona 3 Reload, right? Came out. on Game Pass. And like I played Persona 5 Royal completely on Game Pass, right?
Okay.
Now, when you have a business model like that, that's not going to really be great for not only gamers, but also just publishers in general, because they're not going to make back revenue. Like this Netflix model of video games, this is basically what they tried to do, was they tried to make video games in a Netflix type of model. And what ends up happening is a lot of people don't buy games for Xbox anymore.
Right.
They just don't. They wait for it to come on Game Pass. If it's not on Game Pass, well, I guess I'm not going to play it. Seriously.
Literally, I've seen that.
What ends up happening, I mean, them hiking the price is like they're trying to make money off of this product that they've locked themselves into, because now they have this service that people expect from them. They want to play certain things on Game Pass. They don't want to have to buy certain things. And so it's breeded an expectation. So that was a mistake, I think, on Microsoft's part. I do think that, like, you know, the way that it was when it comes to like putting first party games and like Sega stuff on day one was just a bad move in general, right? Having something where it used to be where, like, when Game Pass first came out, it would be like a game would come out and then maybe a year later it would be on Game Pass. Like Capcom's done this with like Resident Evil 2, for example.
Right.
Like the Resident Evil, they were on Game Pass for a couple of months and then they pulled them off. But now they're doing this thing where people now just they expect to play games on Game Pass, dude. Forza Motorsport came out and it was on Game Pass day one, right? Like, you know, like stuff like that. And so they've kind of backed themselves in this really weird corner where now they can't really do anything but hike the price. That's the only thing they can do, because they can't take the service away.
Right.
Because this is part of their value proposition now, right? So I kind of agree. I think that their service has degraded.
Yeah, okay. I definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that on that statement, because that, for me, I use that on the Xbox, and when Game Pass first was released, you know, a lot of people were down for it because that they had this notion that there was going to be a new way of enjoying gaming. It's like, hey, instead of having to, because like you said, Game Pass is a try before you buy type of thing, because the end goal is to always make a purchase, you know. However, as you see in the gaming world, in esports world as well, when you offer something at a low cost or even free, that builds expectation. And what that comes with expectation is that okay, so once you have it for a while, it's going well, but then you start to kind of lose that reason you had in the beginning, and then when you try to kind of do some pullbacks, say, hey, okay, well, you enjoyed this, but now we have to get back to the main course of why that we have this in the first place. Then that's why you see all this backlash, you know. And when you start to really think about it, Microsoft they back in the corner as well, because PlayStation kind of followed through with their own service as well as a competitor. So now Xbox is in this weird situation where it's like, okay, well, PlayStation is now doing their own thing, and PlayStation has an edge with their PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PS4 titles that spans over years. Xbox just have original Xbox and 360, you know, things like that. So like that's like that is another caveat that Microsoft is kind of put under, because now they got to think about how can we turn a profit off this service that people have used as a alternative to buying video games separately, but at the same time keeping up with the competition from Sony that obviously wants to get ahead of this, I guess you say, a streaming service, because you really think about it, it's become a streaming service instead of a rental service, and I think it boggles my mind that no one at Microsoft anticipated that, because the first thing people need to realize that when you give a group of people something that doesn't require a lot of resources from them, then they like that, because it's like, hey, less resources from me, I get more from them, boom, boom, bam, less to worry about. So now that I think the end goal for Microsoft is that, unfortunately, the price has to go up, because you got to turn a profit somehow. Because as you've seen over the last few months, Microsoft has been doing layoffs on top of layoffs on top of layoffs, and they're going to continue, you know, and that is so same with PlayStation, you know. So now a lot of gamers kind of have to realize that, look, in order for us to still have this kind of service, like this is one of now is our turn to kind of give more of ourselves to like Xbox and Microsoft, even PlayStation.
Right. I think honestly, to be fair, I thought Xbox Game Pass was better than PlayStation's streaming service anyway, because just on GP with the way Xbox Game Pass worked is like the game was downloaded physically onto your hardware. You know what I'm saying? The game was physically there on your hardware. So if the game, if you were disconnected from the internet for any reason, for a length of time, you can still play the game. You know, you still have access to the game for the most part. PlayStation, you still can't do that. You have to be connected to the internet in order to play your games. And I that was one thing that I feel like I said, I think that's better anyway, because like, you know, I personally, I still think we need to be making sure we own our games. Like I'm not going to sit up here and pay 60, 70 bucks for a game that that I'm not owning.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? That I can't get a hard drive, like a physical copy for, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. But go ahead, Zone.
You know what's funny though, real quick. So I'm sorry, real quick. You know what's funny though about what Wolfies was saying too is it's like the thing is not only the expectation for the Game Pass has been set that way, but a lot of the game industry in general, like when it comes to like free to play games and stuff like that, it's the landscape has changed so much that gamers expect so much for nothing these days, right? And so when you do something like, oh, you hike the price, then people are obviously going to complain, because we live in this age where people are like, oh, well, this company's giving me games for free and this company's giving me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out because I think he's right about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Game Pass was released on June 1st, 2017. So in my opinion, like Game Pass was essentially created for the modern audience in a way to where like a lot of these kids nowadays, they just, you know, they're on TikTok watching these 5-second videos and stuff. And to relay that to games, a lot of the times they don't want to spend excuse me, a lot of times they don't want to spend over 100 hours, over 50 hours on certain games. So Game Pass is perfect for them, so they can play a game for 30 hours, whether they beat it or not. They ready to move on to the next thing because they're getting bored of the current game that they're already playing, which is why you see a lot of gamers complaining about certain aspects that don't even matter, because a lot of times they wasn't even going to play the game to begin with.
I like how
And wait, one more thing. And this service essentially allows them a platform, a way to get into gaming at a cheap price than normally having to buy a $60 game. You pay what I think it's well, it was $10 before. You pay $10 for the service. Oh well, you pay $15 for the service, and then you get like 100+ games that you could play at any time for your leisure, as long as you keep paying the $10 a month. Like I said, for the modern audience, that's perfect.
And my thing with this is, theoretically, like I said, it works theoretically. I just don't like the fact that, you know, it like I said, as somebody who's been playing games for a minute, you know, I get it. Like it sucks to come across a game that you're not really feeling. You know, it comes across a game that you like, okay, this game, and we've seen it. Like we've seen videos of, like I was actually watching videos earlier this morning of some games that were like for Super Nintendo that were like really bad. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Combat Basketball was one of them. For example, you know, so and I get it. Yeah, like nobody wants to play shitty games.
Well, I sometimes like playing shitty games. It's fun.
You know.
I got.
I'm talking general public. I'm talking general public. Like general public doesn't really want to play a fucking shitty ass game. They don't want to do it. They want, you know, and with the free to play stuff, I know that's kind of like going into a different topic, but like I said, free to play has been okay, but then a lot of times what I've seen with a lot of free to play games is like the quality isn't there, and it's always a lot of stuff that's inbuilt, you know. But I there's a few exceptions. There's a couple of games that I support that are free to play. that have been free to play that are really good. One of them is an adult-based game. But it's still like it's in progress and it's really good. Like the community is really good. Solid community and all that good stuff. But like I know the landscape of gaming now, it's been it's a weird one. Like I said, you got so much noise going on right now, and it's with game, with the Game Pass. Like I said, I don't, like I said, yeah, I agree with the fact that some of this stuff, the having to turn the profit is what they're doing now, because now they've locked themselves. I think Wolfie said it. But now they've kind of locked themselves in a position to where, in order to compete with Sony, that's what they have to do. They don't do I don't know, for whatever reason they haven't gone back to do a lot more of their backwards compatibility for some reason for Xbox. They've done a little bit, but it's not been like they haven't extensively gone in there. And I think honestly that would be something that would help them a lot with Microsoft will help. It'll help Microsoft a lot, Xbox a lot, with going back into their library. They've done it with key games. They've done it, and if they can do that, especially with the Game Pass atmosphere that they have, oh man.
I mean, to be fair though, like Xbox has been better about backwards compatibility than Sony, like way better. Like I have a ton of 360 games that I can play on my Xbox Series X and stuff like that. And then there's also a bunch of stuff like downloadable that are just like a lot of their Xbox 360 games and stuff. Now, not everything. Obviously, there's some Xbox games that I have that won't work on it. Like I have Crazy Taxi 3 that won't play on my Xbox, Series X and stuff like that. And there's certain ones, but that's up to the publisher. That's not up to Xbox. That's not up to Microsoft, right? That's up to the publisher of the game. So, for example, like Capcom's Remember Me for the 360, that won't run on your Xbox Series X. You got to talk to Capcom about that, right? But I think in general, if they had done something like, and I said this before on my stream, like if they had done something like there's tiers to Game Pass where you get older games if you pay like the lowest price, so maybe $10 a month, and you get to play like regular Xbox games, right? Okay. Or 360 or whatever, and then you pay like 15 or 20 a month, and then you get access to like some day one titles, right? Maybe first party or something like that, and then you pay like another like, I don't know, $30 a month, and you get access to some other level of exclusives day one or something like that. Sort of like a hybrid between what PlayStation is doing and what Nintendo's doing with its online, right?
Okay. Right.
That would have been a better model, because then you would have incentive for people to not only pay for one service, but also incrementally like add on to the services that they have, right?
Right. So, and also to add on top of that, will work too, is to give them a bigger discount. Those that have the higher per month have a higher discount rate, if that makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
So if they are paying, say for example, we'll say $30 a month, right, for the highest tier with everything, they can get anywhere between 30-40% off if they buy the game off Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? If they buy it directly off Game Pass, that way you can keep it. So when a game does go off Game Pass or becomes unavailable, bam. Feel me?
Yeah, there you go.
But the landscape of gaming is really weird. It's hilariously weird. I ain't gonna do that. But speaking of weird landscapes, I want to go ahead and switch to one of our subtopics here. And I don't know if y'all know about this Assassin's Creed. How many y'all big Assassin's Creed fans? Anybody?
I never really liked Assassin's Creed, to be fair.
My favorite, I love Assassin's Creed. My favorite is still Unity. That's my favorite Assassin's Creed. Yes.
So how y'all feel about the Shadows that's been coming out? I want to ask because I personally, for what I've seen with Shadows, I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not
honestly
knocking.
Just don't care, because I'm not an Assassin's Creed fan. I know people are mad about stuff, but like, I think Assassin's Creed has always sucked. So, like, whatever. Like, it's just gonna continue to suck, I guess. Like,
easy. Let's go see you suck until it sucks itself out of oblivion. So
like,
right. So my thing with Assassin's Creed, I liked it up until I want to say after the third one. I want to say Like, and then after that, I checked out.
Mhm.
Like I've always said that, like I like the fact that they kind of infuse a little bit of history here and there. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was chill. I liked it. Pretty cool. But I like this latest one with the whole Yasuke thing. I
Sure.
feel like it was so much bullshit beside it. Like it was too much nonsense. Like I'm me personally, I'm not going to knock the fact that Yasuke existed. Um, that was never the problem. I knew that was a kind of a thing when Dynasty Warriors they put him in. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying?
Yeah.
So that was I'm not knocking the historical part. The part that I didn't like was it they were trying to do it the method behind it. It was they were trying to do the whole, dare I say, woke stuff with it. It was the intent behind it.
Right.
And a lot of people are picking up on it, and this is what we have now. Assassin's Creed Shadows, an update for the Japanese community. Back on July 23rd, the development team, the Japanese community update, because man, the Japanese community was an uproar because all of the stuff that was happening with Yasuke, making him the main character, and then then they was trying to they trying to sneak in the little Rainbow Coalition in there.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that if you are, but like I said, it was just the forcing it on the people that I didn't like. That's
It
something that I
actually goes a lot deeper than that.
talk about.
I've been keeping up with this pretty significantly because I have no life. But essentially, what's going on is past the whole Yasuke part. There's symbols and things in there that are okay. So there are some Chinese symbols in the game when it's supposed to be set in Japan, right?
Right, right.
And then also some of those there's also a lot of symbols that are related to like I think copyright or something like that. So
Yeah,
essentially
copyright.
they put it in the game without paying the people that they should have. And like so far this game is abysmal because it's going on to the government. Now the government is
Yes,
overlooking
I
the
saw that.
game
I
for
saw
Really?
that.
for everything
Yeah,
that's
the
going on
Japanese
in it.
government.
It's getting really, really deep. And I wish people would look more past Yasuke because this situation is crazy.
What's a company failure problem, because now you got people. This is what I've said before about what people, the whole gatekeeping and all of this stuff. I've honestly said, if you got people involved making games that don't care about games, you're gonna have people that are degrading the gaming sphere. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody coming into your house and you let them in and they overstay their welcome. They start, and they don't care about your house because they done got too comfortable. Now they start kicking their feet up. Now they're
And they're
they're
saying
you
fuck your
know
couch and shit
you
like
fuck your
that.
couch. They're taking all your kids snacks and shit. Eating up all the the Reese's Pieces, the Cocoa Puffs and all that shit. You know what
Bro,
I'm
man, from the
saying?
fifth floor.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what's happening in the gaming sphere right now, and it's been a heated. I've dealt with people on both sides. Like I've dealt with people that are like that are have been telling me that like, oh well, no, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as you think it is. And then you got people that are telling me, oh well, we need more. We need more people to come in. We want it's weird. It's so stupid. I don't like it. But let's get into this real quick. To our esteemed Japanese community, a message from the Assassin's Creed Shadows development team. First, we want to express our heartfelt thanks for all your support to the Assassin's Creed Shadows series, which I can't read for shit right now, which now has its own history spanning almost 20 years. Over time, we've explored various settings, um, time periods, and characters from Assassin during the Third Crusade to a Viking in the 9th century England, and countless more. What up, Disparity? I hope you're doing well, broski. Hope you are. Yeah, there we go. Hope you're doing well. Um, for our team, creating an Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan has been a long cherished dream. Since the announcement of AC Shadows, we have received many positive reactions, but also some criticism, including from you, our Japanese players. We share your passion for history and deeply respect your care for the historical and cultural integrity of your rich heritage. We would like to address a few points. Um, um, to clarify our intentions and creative decisions. Overall, just chilling here at the theater, man. Hey, watch the movie, okay? Go watch the movie.
What is he watching?
The Deadpool.
The Deadpool?
Yeah, Deadpool movie. Go watch that damn movie. This man has literally got his phone in the theater, watching like how I look right now with the little white screen across his face. While you over here watching the movie and shit. Watch the damn movie. Come back and tell us later how it was.
Yeah, that's dedication right there.
Yeah, I feel it. Love it. Love to see it. We have put significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan. However, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Shadows, as factual representations of history or historical characters. Instead, we aim to spark curiosity and encourage players to explore and learn more about the historical settings we get inspired by. Anybody else wanted to call Cap? I call Cap.
This letter is basically saying "fuck your couch, Japan."
Yeah, it's like you know.
Don't care.
Yeah, you know what bothers me most about this is I am a huge fan of Japanese mythology and culture. You know, and the fact that like they're being so lackadaisical with this and acting like, oh, you know, they're acting like, oh, Japanese people, it's just a misunderstanding. It's not as bad as you think it is, but it's like you made a game that's based on Japanese in the feudal times where, in case you don't know, a lot of people, Japan and most Asian countries, they hold on to their ancient cultures very, very closely. And feudal Japan is one of the most important times in Japan's history, you know, and the fact that they're taking so many liberties with it and acting like, oh, you know, it's not that serious. It's like, yeah, you know, you might got away with Odyssey and Unity because, you know, there are times where, because those characters were, you know, they're like, you know, not that historically accurate, but with Shadows, it's like you're reaching so deep in Japan's history, but but the lack of respect of it. That's what people are not liking. Is that it's not the fact that the game is bad or Yasuke is like inaccurate, because to a certain extent, you know, Yasuke, in my opinion, is as accurate as you can make it, because to a certain extent, because there's not a lot of information on Yasuke that's completely accurate, because there's so many different, you know, different entries on who he was. You know, some say he was a right-hand man of Oda Nobunaga. Some say that you know, he came here on the African ship to Japan, you know, and he learned how to read and write. And people say, oh, he was a samurai, but it's like, okay, we get that. But the fact that not only are you taking liberties with Yasuke and kind of making him like this Mary Sue type character, but at the same time, the fact that you're not listening to criticisms and you're treating the Japanese community as you treat American, and that's not fair, because you know, because you're playing with a culture that does not take kindly to their cultures and their values and morals being used not only as a profit, but kind of like as a punchline, if you really think about it.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Now I will double back, because I know with Yasuke, it was confirmed that he did come, he existed. I know some people were like he was Nobunaga's right hand man.
Some people say he's a servant. Some people say he was noted as a knight. Some people say like, you know,
some people say that, but then also too, one of the things too people don't understand during that time, that people don't understand with Japanese, they are very, now they're a little bit open, but like back then especially, they are very closed off about their culture, and anybody that comes in, even if it's respect, you're capped at a certain level. You know what I'm saying? With Yasuke, it was I think one person I was talking to, they was talking about the research that they found, because they actually worked with the game to some degree. It was found out that Yasuke was basically, you know, being picked on by Nobunaga. You know, he was picked by Nobunaga because, you know, he was basically taller than everybody on the battlefield. Like he was an opposing figure. So imagine like, the average, height for a Japanese person, and then you got somebody that's like 5'9", close to 6 foot, you know what I'm saying, towering over people in the battlefield. You're gonna have that type of person. And then also, of course, you treating Yasuke like crap. That was another thing too. A lot of people, for some reason, Ubisoft, and they're not American. I think they're a Canadian.
French.
Yeah, they're French Canadian.
Yeah, Ubisoft is a French Canadian company.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, but they still they are picking up on they still have the Western ideals, and that's basically the problem right now, is that a lot of the ideals is clashing, and that's the argument that I've been having with people, is that, look, if you're gonna do creative liberties, there's a difference between doing creative liberties with respect, and being fun with and having fun with it, and still getting the Japanese people involved. But and then you're just like Misbehavior said earlier, fuck your couch. We're gonna do what the fuck we want, type shit.
Basically, that's what they're saying.
Disparity said it right. Japan was an isolationist country until around about 1867. Yeah, they were very closed off about a lot of things.
I mean, they're still isolationists though. Like if you go to Japan, like, you know what I mean, and live there, even if like you have Japanese blood and you're not full Japanese, like you're not considered Japanese. Like my wife is half Japanese, and she lived there part of her life, and like she's still a foreigner, right?
Yeah.
Even though she speaks Japanese and like lived there, right?
Yeah, they still
and
have
half
that.
Japanese, right?
Right, and I think when it comes down to this, I think this game, that's why people, it's an apparent right now with this company. And I know Disparity was like, man, we just let it be, let it die, type shit. My disagreement with him, and I'm glad this is being brought up, is because we need people to understand. And this, I'm glad this is being brought up. We need people talking about this more. We need people to have conversations about this, because if we just let it die, in a lot of cases, yes, voting with your wallet. Yes, of course, I agree with voting with your wallet. But if people don't, if you don't say anything, sometimes people will assume the good news. Sometimes people will assume good stuff too. No news is good news for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to a lot of things. So you have to kind of like, sometimes you have to draw the line in the sand, and that's what like the Japanese community, they're doing that. With them being an isolationist country, one thing they will do is they will speak up when shit ain't right for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'll try to be nice about it. That's the thing. They'll try to be nice about it. That's the crazy part. It's like they won't necessarily say it outright at first. They'll try to be nice about it. But once you cross a certain line with them, for the most part, from what I've seen, then that's when it's like, okay, no, we good. Hey, stop. That's why you're getting a lot of kickback with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and that's where I think this is coming from right now, because now the Japanese is crossing the line. But go ahead.
It's exactly, and coming in the culture that I know from Japan is that, like, not only they closed off, they, I mean with the even. And I mean, like you can even say that when it comes to the use of Japanese history, like that the Japanese people don't really mind if you use it. Just like know what you're talking about, and use it in a way that's respectful of their culture, and at the same time, you can take some liberties, but just be mindful of it. And right. I know, even right now, like their work culture is very infamous, and even with their like population levels, in the fact that they're just so like, okay, we'll figure it out on our own. We don't need the outside world to help us out. Like that should tell you that they are a self-sufficient group of people. That like even their house was burning, they rather put the fire out themselves than call the fire department.
Get outside help. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. And honestly, see, this is kind of goes back to and this kind of goes back to how Americans kind of feel about everything else outside the country. It's because that one thing I know about gaming that it bothers me that when it comes to developers making games that feature cultures from other countries, if either they don't know about it. If they don't know about it, they'll make it up as they go. But if they have some kind of knowledge, they'll do use like Wikipedia or something like that to kind of like use as resource. And it kind of it's like and I'm not saying you can't westernize certain things, but it gets to a point where it turns into arrogance. It's like how arrogant can you be to think that you can make a game based off a culture you were not involved in any way, shape, or form. And see, Ubisoft could have simply requested a historian because there's plenty in Japan. There's plenty of historians,
actual historians,
yes,
that are not being funded by BlackRock.
Exactly. Not only a historian but family members. Because in Japan, like in Japan, people living today, they can trace their culture back to the feudal times. And honestly, that's something I wish we can do. I'm jealous of that. I'm kind of jealous of that. And I mean, honestly, that could have solved all the problems, though. But that kind of goes back to the whole American arrogance thing, because the fact that Ubisoft think that they can make an Assassin's Creed game based in Japan, because
they're not Americans. They're not Americans.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't. I wouldn't call it American arrogance, but like Western arrogance.
It's Western,
Western arrogance. Thank you. Yeah, like the fact that you had success with other Assassin's Creed games based in European countries and based in like Asian Europe, like that doesn't mean that it's going to work for every single culture.
Right.
I will say just for clarification, Ubisoft is French. They're not French Canadian. They have a office in Montreal, but they're French. They're based in France.
Okay, so still okay, got you. So my thing when it comes down to taking creative liberties, I have no issue with it, right? Because we've seen there's nothing wrong with having like, oh, this is my version of what I think happens in other cultures, other countries. This is very, very loosely based. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like personally. And we've seen a lot of games like within Western, within US games that have based off of stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? And hell, Japan has done it with our game. With us. Hell, Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like that game is one big ass stereotype, really, if we think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Remember Punch Out?
Yeah, Punch Out, one big ass stereotype. That game. And there's nothing wrong. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking those stereotypes. But like right now, it's this weird ass thing of, people that are trying to use this thing of, oh, we want to be respectful, but then it's subverting the, while at the same time, trying to subvert that expectation type shit. Like it's this weird conundrum that I've seen a lot of, especially people that claim, oh, well, we want to be gamer, we want gaming's for everyone, blah blah blah.
It's not for everyone, but that's okay.
But then it's like, oh well, gaming's for everyone, but then everyone's got to subscribe to my thought pattern, or else type shit. Like I said, I have no problem. Oh well, this game is too offensive. Shit, like there's a reason why these games are kind of lackluster right now, is because creativity in a way is being stifled, because people can't have fun no more. People cannot enjoy the things. People can't, make a tongue-in-cheek reference to, say, Japan, or US without being offended. Say somebody can poke fun at America and poke fun at drag queens in America. You know what I'm saying? And make a game. Somebody from Japan, if somebody would have from Japan to made a game about drag queens in America, they would be canceled. You know what I'm saying? Because, oh well, you're from Japan and all you saw was drag queens and you didn't represent us right, type shit. Like it's stupid. Like I hate it. It's dumb. Let people have their, and not everybody is not, not one group is not above what's the word? Criticism, critique, being made fun of sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you don't want to go ahead.
That community note is basically their justification for a lot of things. Essentially, when I read that community note, the only thing that I saw in it was them saying our game is fictional. We could do whatever we want because this is fictional.
Right.
The problem is like I said, I've been doing a lot of research on this. The problem is Assassin's Creed has never had a non-fictional main character. Every character in Assassin's Creed has been a fictional main character that ties in to the non-fictional characters. With this game, this is the very first non-fictional character that they're actually going with. And when you do this, you chose to pick this black guy, Yasuke, just to prove a point and to stir up controversy. And in my opinion, they literally did this just for free marketing. Like, nobody will be talking about this if they put an Asian man and an Asian woman in the game and just let it be a good game. The problem is they opened this game up with identity politics, and now it's gotten to a point to where they got the government involved and everyone is critiquing the game because they don't know how to just make a good game.
Yeah, fair enough. I like that. I like that. We're gonna go ahead and keep it pushing. But don't forget, y'all, if y'all liking this, be sure to drop a like on this sub if you guys are new. We're gonna be doing more of these. We're gonna be getting into more of this soon. Like, I guess, more regularly if we can. But I think once a month is pretty good right now, and getting more people involved. You know, if you guys got any comments, if you guys are watching this on the archive, if you guys got any comments about this, whether you for or against Assassin's Creed, let us know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we'll definitely be looking at it. All right. But I want to talk about something. We want to switch topics here. I want to talk about something. And this one, oh wait, I hit the cancel button. I am so stupid. It's right here. I promise you. I know what I'm doing. I promise I know what I'm doing. Big publishers eject too soon from live service titles, says Warframe boss. It comes out, it doesn't work, and they throw it away. Digital Extreme CEO Steve Sinclair says that games companies must have more faith in live service projects, even if they struggle at launch. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is also part of the problem with gaming right now. There's too many live service games. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not, like, don't get me wrong. I like a good live service game if it's done right. I personally think
I would agree.
I'm over live service games real quick. But let me go give me some more water real quick. But I want y'all y'all go ahead and start talking to people about how you feel about live service games real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, just real quick take. I mean, I think live service games definitely have their place. I understand why companies do it, because they want to be able to monetize over like a longer period of time, right? And like a lot of the times, it's like a game will come out, and the game comes out, it gets played for a couple of weeks by people, and then it gets forgotten, and that's kind of like how a lot of games are. And so the live service model allows publishers and developers to keep games fresh and keep people coming back to it, and monetizing it, because at the end of the day, they're a business, right? So like, I get it, I get why it exists, but I do think that a lot of games that are live service don't really have to be. I think we were talking about Suicide Squad a little bit earlier. That's an example of a game where like that game did not need to be live service, right? It could have just been like a cool, like team-based, even like online team-based is fine. But like, it doesn't need to be a live service title where they're trying to monetize and get you to buy skins and get you to do all these kinds of things, especially because the game wasn't free, right? Like, the free-to-play model works a lot with live service games, because at the end of the day, you don't pay anything to play the game. And then, in order to keep the game alive and to keep the publisher giving content, then you got to buy some stuff and, give them some money, and that makes sense. But I think too many games are trying to go that route without thinking about if it actually makes sense for the project. They're just doing it because it's something that everybody else is doing, and that's just the way that the industry's going, right?
It's lucrative.
What's that?
I said it's lucrative.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think a lot of live service games, there are really too many, and like on top of there being too many, like a good majority of them are just not good and are clearly made just to only make money from. I play a bit of live service games myself. I'm an MMO player for one, and I think one of the I think that was like the original live service, if you want to think about it. But recently I've been playing the First Descendant, and with games like that, like not only is it a good game, some may call it decent. I think it's pretty good. Like the game sells itself. That ultimate bunny skin, like there's nothing to be said. And like I said, when you put that on top of a good game, it just flies off the shelf. And I don't know where I've seen this, but they said for an average live service game, I think each player brings in about $50. So imagine if you got millions of players and each one is giving you at least $50 on average. That's definitely something that they want to continue to do.
I mean, if you can, sure. My thing is just like I said, with live service games, it's so, how do I put this? It's so repetitive, and like you said earlier, like a lot of the games, it's an excuse for a lot of games to be subpar or mediocre and not really good. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. And it degrades, and when you have a lot of mediocre games like that, it degrades the experience, especially if they're a live service, and it just gives people a reason to just, just we're gonna make this game, and then, and then I also once again, game preservation, it kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? Because all these live service games, you can't go back to them. Say you get a feeling for nostalgia, like 5-10 years later, you want to go back and play it, you can't play it because it doesn't exist anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Outside they done changed it so much that it's a totally different game.
Right. Instead of making a new game, they just go ahead and and that's the other thing too, is just you can just keep adding and adding and adding and stuff like that. I just feel like honestly, when it comes down to live service games, like I haven't tried the First Descent. I was looking at it. I have it on my Steam wish list. I was thinking about getting it. I know the other reason why it's successful because a lot of people, the whole ugly, the uglification of women in video games on the Western side, and when you have a game that's actually decent and it looks good, appealing to the eye, a lot of people like it. I know that sounds like a novel concept for a lot of people. I don't know why people act like that's a new thing, but no, I really think it's too much, right? So in an interview with BGC, Sinclair limited the trend of large companies in this live service space, abandoning titles quickly following launch stumbles. They think that the release is make or break, and it's not. They have a financial way to be persistent, and they never do it. Sinclair said it comes out, it doesn't work, and they throw it away. That's actually fair.
Yeah, I mean,
he added, isn't that a shame? When you put so many years of your life iterating into those systems or building technology or building the start of a community, and because the operating costs are high, you get terrified when you see the numbers drop and you leave. We've seen this with amazing releases that I think have massive potential, and I think they eject too soon.
I want to know what examples of what he's talking about are, like what games.
Well, some of the ones that's brought up in this article are high-profile live service title games that shut down in recent years include EA's Knockout City, which lasted just over 2 years, which was actually pretty decent.
I never played that. That's a boxing game, right?
No, it was dodgeball.
Oh, okay.
It was a dodgeball.
Sounds like
game.
Should be a boxing game.
Yeah, but it was actually not bad though. It was actually pretty fun. Smilegate's Crossfire X, which lasted just over 1 year. Platinum Games' Babylon's Fall, which lasted just 11 months, and EA's Anthem, which was closed after 2 years despite being a full price game. Now, Anthem,
you know what? You know what's not on here that should have been, I feel like, is what's the one that came out? It was it lasted for like 6 months. Dang, I forget. It was another Epic game. It was like Fortnite, but like fighting. like
I know. Yeah, that it's kind of like wrestling, right?
not wrestling, like melee
It was
combat.
wrestling based.
Melee combat.
I think like
For
Brawl
Honor.
Out, something like that.
For Honor.
What was it called? Dang, I can't remember I can't remember the name. I played it, it was actually really fun.
When you find it, let me know.
Not Knockouts. It wasn't Knockout City. It was like something like that.
Okay.
Oh man. I'm gonna have to look it up.
When you look it up, let me know. When you find it, excuse me, let me know. But that's crazy. Like honestly, but this is a solid point, right? Definitely a solid point, because what happens with this is that there's a whole lot of people that that give up a year in, and that's the thing. A lot of these games are a process to make. You know, it's
Rumbleverse.
Rumbleverse. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep, that was it. Yep.
Okay. Rumbleverse. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that game.
Yeah, another game is
That game is really fun.
Spellbreak is another example of that. I actually enjoy Spellbreak, you know, because it was like Fortnite mixed with Harry Potter, and I feel like with Spellbreak, it's basically like they saw the numbers drop and the operating costs were kind of like taking the toll. It's like okay, and they decided to leave, and I really didn't like that. It's because that thing about the game development and publishing that's kind of heartbreaking in a way is that when people make a game that people like, but when all the background things like operating costs and player base numbers, you know, like when you see that turn to negative, they kind of like panic a bit and they'd be like, okay, well, since it's not working out, we're just gonna abandon this and try something new. It's like,
I mean, or abandon it and just shut down shop, right? Because like, the thing about it is like games are expensive to make, man. Like, I don't really blame publishers for bouncing when it's like, hey, look, like this game's not making us money. They don't make games for you to have fun. Like they don't. They make games for you to give them money, and if you're not giving them money, it's not going to work. It's a business at the end of the day. And like, as much as that sucks to like come to the realization of, like, I think that like this guy, I don't know how much money he had in the bank for Warframe. Right.
Yeah.
But like, if you had a bunch of money in the bank for Warframe, like Warframe's been out since what, 2012 or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. It's still going though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I have it on my computer. And like if he had the money to keep going, that's great, but not a lot of publishers, not a lot of developers have that money, right, to keep a game going.
Yeah.
Like they do need to make money in order to continue justifying the cost of operating a game.
I mean, and my only disagreement with that is, like I said, yes, but then also too, like I said too, my thing is if you cultivate your community, and that's the other thing too, is like, and it goes to, I think Whoopi's kind of said it a little bit, is if you cultivate your community and you get people that are invested and the game is good, like it has potential, people want to, and especially if it's really good, like, and you're just so happy to be running behind on costs or whatever, I guarantee you there will be people out there that will come out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's part of I think that's the point of this article. Right, but I think the point of this article, is what the Sinclair is saying is that there are people out there, like people don't even try, and that's part of the problem with, once again, with gaming in general right now. Even with it being a business, people they'll try and then they'll pack up 2 years in. You know what I'm saying? After
because they're not making money, right? Like if they look at their bottom line and they're like, well, shit, like now I can't really afford to pay people to work on this game anymore. Like, what do you expect them to do? You know?
Not only that, for when it comes to a live service game, you have to pay for the servers. And sometimes if you don't have enough players to even run the server, there's no point of them even continuing the game.
Right.
No, I mean, and that's fine. Like I said, that's fine. But like I said, in general speaking, if there's a way, if there's a will, there's a way. Like at some point, you have to, like I agree with Sinclair. You kind of have to thug it out. You know what I'm saying? You were thugging it out when you were making a game.
No,
what I'm
when they
saying?
had
Like,
money, they had money when they were making the game. They had a publisher giving them money to pay their employees, right? Like there's
that's
no there,
depending.
you know what I'm saying? There's no way you're gonna make a game or continue to make a game if there's no money behind it. You're just not gonna do it. Right?
Yeah,
Because how am I gonna like if you're okay, put it this way. You go to your work, right, one day, and your boss says, well, you know what? I can't actually afford to pay you for the next year, but I need you to keep doing this because we have a loyal customer base that comes in here every day. And even though you're not going to get paid and you're not going to be able to feed yourself, I still need you to come do this every single day.
Well,
are you going to do that?
In my case, I will still. In my case, literally, I can still do that because I still get paid.
No. That's not the answer. In this situation, you're not getting paid.
Yeah, in that situation, I get it. No, but no,
right.
Like more than likely not. But in my literal situation,
no.
Still get
that's not the question, though. That's not the question.
I know what your question. I know
specific situation. The question is hypothetical of if your boss told you that he was not going to be able to pay you for the next year, but you still needed to perform your duties anyway, would you do so?
Right. More often than not, the answer would be no.
Right.
Or if you do it, it would be done on the side.
I think it's worse than that, honestly, because when it comes to things like that, you have to consistently pay. Like for instance, again with the servers, you have to put money into it. So it's like your boss saying, "Hey, in order to continue working here, I have to take money out of your pocket for us to run our operation."
Right. Plus, not pay you.
Plus, not
right. So either you're gonna abandon it completely, or like I said, according to the scenario that you said, either you're gonna abandon it completely, or you're still gonna do it, but you're gonna be doing it it's not gonna be your priority.
Sure, exactly. Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying is it's like at the end of the day, it's a business and it takes, like, to your point, you need to spend money to run the servers. You need to spend money to pay people to work on it. You need to spend money to like advertise it. You need to spend money. There's a bunch of money that needs to go into it. And if no money's coming in, I understand why these companies are dropping these games, because they're like, well, shit, like this is why people are getting laid off all over the place in the gaming industry now, right? Is because these companies are putting a lot of stake into stuff that they're not getting any return on.
DEI. Excuse me. Sorry.
Well, that's part of it, but
that's I feel like it's a bigger issue because, like I said, you got people involved with gaming right now. Like I said, and it's been more apparent within the past couple of years that you have people involved in gaming that do not care about gaming at all. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Not even in like the slightest bit. Like, and they can't even fake it. Okay, they can't.
Listen, more content.
Yeah, there we go. You can't even fake this shit. You know what I'm saying? But and then, like I said, it's also the part of the CEOs, because the CEOs, they don't know no better. They're so busy working on the business side. You know what I'm saying? And I think Eric July, I'm a big comic. Well, I'm not saying I'm not a big comic book. I got recently in the comic books with Eric July, and he made this point a while back, and it's very true, where he was saying that what, like a lot of CEOs, they hire these people, the people under them, to help them run their business, and they think that these people have these, these connections, they get all of this stuff, and they think that these people, they know what they're doing. Oh, well, these people really want, if we appeal to this kind of crowd, we'll get more money, we'll get more of this, that, and the third.
Sure, yeah.
And, it's not working. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, these people really don't give a fuck about games, because, they're just in it because they see that gaming is one of the biggest things. It's got the biggest influence, bigger than movies, the biggest form of entertainment. So now they're in here trying to do the shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the problem why a lot of this shit is failing, because that's why people aren't buying. That's why the layoffs are happening. This stuff is, people, you got mediocre product. These people are putting this live service stuff in with little to no, there's no effort, there's no passion, there is no, proper responding to feedback. You know what I'm saying? There is no feedback loop at all for some of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
For
It's
some
just
of them, yeah. I wouldn't say all, but I would say for some of it, yeah. And I do think that hiring people who like don't really care about games has a lot to do with it. Like, but that happens a lot more on the narrative side than anything else. Honestly, like devs aren't really as much like that, but
yeah. But then again, it while it may not be like that for like on the dev side, I'm starting to see a little bit on the dev side too. But I've seen more of it. You're right. I've seen more of it with community managers. That's been more of the bigger problem. The community managers. That's the one.
Community
talking about
narrative,
more so AAA, right?
Yeah, AAA.
Yeah. Okay.
Compulsion Games was one. Compulsion Games was one that had that one chick that was like for what was that damn game based in Louisiana? That's supposed to be coming out soon. What is the name of that damn game? Jesus Christ. You know which one. Just look up Compulsion Games and you know which one I'm talking about.
Louisiana.
Yeah. Louisiana folklore. Compulsion Games.
You said Louisiana Pokemon?
No, Louisiana. South of Midnight. Thank you. Disparity.
Oh yeah. Okay.
South of Midnight. You know what I'm saying? South of Midnight. And you got these people that are like supposed to be for the games, but they're not. They're not doing it. It sucks. It's fucking stupid. Retarded. But yeah, like I said, I have no issue with live service games, but like I said, it's just I can't like this. I think this dude kind of has a point to some degree, even though if it is about business to some degree, there has to be some kind of like you got to have some kind of grit when it comes down to the shit. I think. Me personally.
I think for the companies that give it like a 2-year shot, I think that's a reasonable enough time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Let me check all cookies. I can do that. So I know a lot of y'all are excited about this Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. On some more positive.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I'm ready. I want it. They need to quit playing with me. Quit playing with me and give me a goddamn
where's
date.
my release date? Yeah.
I know, right?
I want a fucking release date. Okay. So I could be mid-high tier at this game. Okay. I want to have fun. Okay. I need a release date. Right. Now, but with all of this, Capcom says there might be an opportunity for a new MVC game. Oh boy!
I mean, if that thing sells well, we're gonna see it. Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
Finally, not a 3.5. not like the not like how they do with fucking what's that game?
Infinite.
No. Oh, Infinite was good. Infinite was actually.
I like Infinite too.
solid.
I mean, I think Infinite is underrated, and people just got too butthurt about no X-Men.
That's a pretty big part of the whole Marvel versus Capcom thing, because it started as X-Men versus.
I agree.
Street Fighter,
people need to understand that like licensing that's a licensed game, and the reason they didn't have X-Men was because of the whole stuff that was going on with Disney and Fox at the time, and we have to just deal with it. Like you know what I mean? Like, are you going to get the problem with that though? Was the way that I can't remember who it was at Capcom who said like, well, these characters are really just functions, and like we're gonna have the functions that you want in the game, so calm down. He's 100% right, because it's like you can do the same type of character with a different character, because really all it is just functions. He's right, but like when you say it like that to people who don't understand how video games work, they think that you're condescending to them, and that didn't really work for selling the game. But like. Sure, yeah, the X-Men, it started as X-Men versus Street Fighter, but like it's licensed, man. You have to understand how licensing works too. Like that, it just you don't get what you want all the time in licensing.
No, I absolutely understand that. But if that was the case, maybe just don't make the game. Save your money and make something else.
Sure. That game was also made on a shoestring budget too. It did not have a lot of money behind it.
Interesting. The funny thing is there's a mod coming out to fix that shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Maximilian talked about it. There's a mod coming out
for Infinite. Yeah, he's working on it.
Yeah, he's working on it with somebody really good too.
I like Max.
Yeah, Max was somebody who got me like more into like learning how to play fighting games and stuff back when he was doing like his assist me's and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but the thing about Max is like he's
going corporate.
Well, he's more for like casual, like
he
like
is.
when you
Yeah.
first start getting into fighting games, that's the channel that you watch.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then once you start learning more about fighting games, like you kind of need him less. Like as a consumer, like not saying the community doesn't need him, because they do, because we need people to like actually like teach people how to play fighting games and like talk to them in a way that they understand.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched him as much anymore. I did meet him at Evo once.
Nice. That was tall.
Oh yeah,
I met
dude,
him.
it's the tallest
I met
Mexican
him.
I've ever seen in my life.
I got a funny story. I got banned from Maximilian's chat, but yeah.
Really?
Why? What
Yeah.
you do?
Honestly, I didn't do anything. If you ask me, it's that fat bastard Simmons, but that's a whole nother, yeah.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
So, yeah,
No,
Simmons got me banned on Maximilian's channel, and that really pissed me off. But it's all good.
No, you're not about to just walk up here and say that and not expect.
Yeah. So what happened? You gotta tell us what happened.
So essentially, Maximilian, and the game was over. They was playing. I think it was Cookout. Wait, is it Cookout?
Overcooked.
Yeah, Overcooked. They were playing Overcooked 2.
I wish it was called Cookout.
And so Maximilian went to go use the bathroom or get some water or whatever. And so like not only me, but a bunch of people in chat was like, "Where's Maximilian? This is boring, blah blah blah." And so I said the same thing. He just so happened to pick out my comment, and so me and him getting into a little back and forth. And eventually he's like, "You know what? Put on mute. Mute him for 5 minutes and let him cool off or whatever." So.
Wow.
The 5 minutes pass, right? And so I get back online, and so Simmons says something. I don't know what he said, but I typed in chat and I was like, "Simmons, are you talking to yourself?" And he looked at my shit and went, "Yo, you know what? Nah, get him out of here. I'm tired of him. Ban him on this channel, ban him on Max's channel, ban him on my channel, ban him on all of their channel. You are no longer allowed in here anymore." And I was just like, wow. What a wow. Okay. And that's just what it is. So yeah, I'm banned on all 4 of their channels.
Wow. Wow. Oh well.
The video should still be on Maximilian's channel. You just gotta search and find it. But yeah, it was definitely.
How long ago was this?
This was probably like a year ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was I ended up making a new Twitch account because I did like Max's community. I wasn't blaming Max for what happened, but it is what it is. I just blame Simmons every time I get the chance to.
I was just wondering. I'm like, yeah, I said the same thing to Spirit of Jesus. I mean, because Maximilian is good. I like Max, man. He's got some good stuff, and definitely passionate about the fighting games. I love it. You could definitely tell. I just, like I said, I agree with Misbehavior though. He is more beginner friendly, and after a while, and there's some takes that he talks about that I kind of don't agree with. One where I know he was talking about the model controls thing, that kind of made sense, but I kind of didn't agree with. In Street Fighter 6, there was something else I like, but other than that, like he's kind of on point about a lot of stuff.
Well, he's like, he's been around for a minute, right? So
yeah, of course, he's been around for a while. But we're gonna get into this Marvel vs. Capcom right here. Fighting game community got a huge surprise recently with Capcom's announcement of Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Game Collection Arcade Classics, which we need a fucking release date, please. It's raised the question if fans might see some new entries in the future, and it seems that it's now a real possibility. Speaking in an exclusive, quote unquote, the Dexerto, the collection's producer, Shuhei Matsumoto, said that maybe there's an opportunity for a new Marvel vs. Capcom game. He feels the same way about a new Capcom-based SNK game, and fans are willing to show their support.
Dude, I want Capcom vs. SNK 3 so bad.
Man, look, we gotta, bro. How many?
Like, I want that over Marvel. I'm not gonna lie.
I want both. You just give me both. I don't give a fuck. I want both. Don't make it sprite based neither, because see,
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be.
Yeah, don't make it sprite based.
Sprite based games are too expensive.
Expensive.
They take too long.
So
like
not the old one, not CBS 2, because all they had to do was literally all the ones in CBS 2 were ripped.
Yeah, sure, but like they wouldn't do that now. But like you think about like King of Fighters 12, right? How long that game took to make, right? Like each character in that game took like 18 months.
Jesus.
You know,
John, I'm a changed man. But not like honestly, they shouldn't do it. Like honestly, I want a date. I just want a fucking release date. I want a release date so I can buy the shit.
same. I pre-ordered it already.
I will put my stripper money on hold for this shit. I tell my girl, y'all gonna wait. Marvel vs. Capcom coming on. Y'all gonna have to deal with it later. But not I'm playing. But
no, that's what I'm saying.
Seriously.
Like I can't wait to play that game in a mid-level again.
I'm telling you,
I can't wait to play X-Men versus Street Fighter online, not on Fightcade.
Oh,
yes.
Crazy.
Children, we're playing Children of Adam once again.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like I have all of those games. I have all of the games, like the physical copies of the original releases, but I'm still gonna buy that shit because I want to play it online.
Exactly. No, I'm looking forward to playing that online. It's gonna be, especially like, because I know a lot. I'm gonna tell you right now, when this collection drops, more often than not, most people are gonna play Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
Marvel 1 will get a lot of people playing it too.
Yeah. Maybe, but you're gonna
superheroes. Yeah,
superheroes is probably gonna be like maybe a third, but a lot of people are gonna play Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I feel like.
Yeah, well, I think the Marvel 2 community will get that game and get a hold of it, and then they'll just be playing it like crazy. But like Marvel 1 still has people that play that shit, right? And there's a lot of there's a lot of reasons for that. Like Marvel 1 is a 6-button fighter, right? It's more arcadey, things like that. And so I'm just excited to see like how the game develops and like how the meta develops for all of them. I think X-Men versus Street Fighter will get a lot of people playing it too.
Yes.
Right.
Now, if they're smart, they'll work with Capcom, to try and get esports involved, because good and well that if they made a whole esports tournament event based on that one collection alone, I can only imagine the level of participants that's going to be in that game, because like and see that's something I wish they did with the Capcom fighting game collection, the first one that came out. So that's one home with this, because it's like you have 6 games, games. That's a whole event right there. That's an Evo right there.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I'm so tempted to reach out to Capcom. Like, yo, I have experience organizing events. Let me have a hand in this. This one collection can make a seasonal event like Evo, like if you did it right. Because like just like with Street Fighter 5 and 6, Capcom is more than willing to invest in esports tournaments, because they did that with Evo 2017, where they added in a bonus in the pot. So honestly, that's, as me as an esports guy, that's what I want the most. Because look, if you want to see a future of Capcom versus titles, I do feel that esports community is going to be needed for that, to push it further. Because I refereed an Evo, and the line to play that game was long the first day. It was long the second day, and people were still playing the third day. So so like this has been a long time coming for a lot of people. So it has so much potential. It had so much potential, because especially the fact that they want to make more of these games.
Right, and this will be a good checkpoint for it. And now I will say this about esports, right? When it comes, my biggest problem, I do have a problem with esports, right? I have it's not a big problem. Now, two things. Well, one, there's some people, this is kind of a little side tangent since you mentioned esports. I've had a lot of people that say esports ruin gaming. And to those people, I tell them the reason why they're mad that esports exists, they're just mad because they can't compete.
Well, see, that's the thing
That's one.
yeah.
That's one. Hold on.
Hmm.
That's one. Two, my issue with esports is with fighting game esports specifically is that they're still trying to do it as like they do teams based games. You know, I don't know if you noticed this, but I've noticed this. They'll try to do it like the team based esports, like the Call of Duties, the
Right.
the League of Legends and all that stuff. And I wish they would do it more like the boxing, MMAs. That they would have an esports based in that format. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be a lot better. Um, it will be a lot easier to rank characters, to rank players off of that instead of just tournament points all the time. Um, Personally, I think having something along the lines of say, for example, an actual record, like going on like say for uh say you're in a league, a beginner league record, whatever, your record is 20 and 20 and 20 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or your all-time record is this, that, and the third. You've won X amount, X amount. The only thing is, of course, you got weight classes and shit like that. But like, take out the weight classes, right? And maybe replace the weight classes with skill levels. You know what I'm saying? Possibly. But if that fails, you drop that. Just have regular shit. Like, and if you do have the fights, kind of like with boxing. And matter of fact, you can do this like with Tekken. So you know how Tekken, if you go in a cabinet on the online lobby, you can have like sets, right?
Hmm.
Have each set as a round, or each game, either each set that you play as a round, like 12 rounds. So like a fight, general fight is like 12 rounds, right? So like have each set as a round, like, or each game as a round, basically, if that makes sense. Kind of something to that effect. I mean, like I said, it's just a raw idea, and it could be refined. Of course, I'm open for refinement, but like I think having it to that degree would make it a lot better than just tournament, and there's like nothing throughout it. A season doesn't necessarily matter per se. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be some kind of have some season stuff, like like for example with the Olympics right now. Right, put people. People are in a pool. Okay, pool XYZ. Pool C, pool A. There's X amount of people, and they fight each other throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how the NBA runs,
Yeah.
NFL type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I don't know. I think that would work. Once again, that's still kind of team based, kind of, but like it's just the kind of like as far as like the fighting, keep the fighting aspect in it instead of just trying to copy the team based esports of like I said, Call of Duty and stuff like that. It works for them. It works for League. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily work for fighting games.
Yeah, I do see what you mean. Funny enough, the IOC, the International Olympics Committee, actually approved esports to be in the Olympics.
That's correct.
So, so that may be a conversation that maybe had in the upcoming years.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm trying to be a part of myself. And that does make sense because the thing about fighting games that I love is it's a meritocracy. It's that like everyone can buy entry into the event. However, only the best of the best is going to make it to the end. You
Yeah.
know, um, and see, it does kind of gets my nerves when people on social media talking about like, oh, fighting games is unfair because someone at a certain skill level won't make it far. I say, well, that's the whole point of fighting games. Like
Yeah,
that's yeah,
develop your skill level. Stupid.
exactly. Yeah, it's not like Call of Duty, where one person can suck, but other three team members can carry them. No, it's you and
Right.
your skill level. So So that's when. See, that's what I want esports to return to. Because I'm so tired of people needing spaces, people wanting special treatment, wanting special league, stuff like that. It's like, it's you're making a mockery of the spirit of competition that esports was built off of. And just like with Marvel, this is what this Marvel vs. Capcom collection. I like I said, I do see so much.
It's going to expose a lot of people. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, it's going to expose a lot of people.
Oh,
a
yes,
lot
it
of people
will.
are going to be mad. I'm like, as many people that's going to love this game. There's going to be a lot of people that I'm telling you, there's going to be a whole lot of videos of people hating Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah,
because they're gonna come against somebody that's gonna fuck them up.
Exactly.
Pick a high tier team. Pick Sentinel. What is it? What's the big team? Sentinel. Magneto, Sentinel, and Storm.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Man,
I still have nightmares.
You're gonna see that often. Oh man, you're gonna see a whole lot of that, and it's gonna make people mad as hell. And
however, I did watch Maximilian's video about the reveal of it, and do you have the Japanese and USA ROMs for each game? And I think Maximilian said like the ROMs do not have infinites in it, so that's something you don't have to worry about. But
they're gonna patch that out.
Yeah, they're gonna patch that out, but still, every game in that collection has like just like in Facade, it has tested. It has so many players resolve game knowledge and also team composition. Because like just like Marvel Capcom 2, you just can't pick a random team and expect to go well. I give you an example. When I first played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on Fightcade, right? It took me about 20 matches to find a good team composition. My team composition is Cyclops, Rogue, and Venom. Sometimes Cable. And it took me 20 matches to figure that out. And so when the game comes out, I'm gonna say this. Do not expect it is not a pick up and play. It is a pick up, spend about a whole weekend learning team composition, about 3 more days on how to do air combos, wall combos, potential infinites, TODs. It's like there's so much tech in those games. I swear to you, people are gonna be like excited, but I guarantee you, before that weekend is over, you're gonna be crying in the corner. I promise you.
Yep.
It's gonna lose 50% of its player base.
Yep, I know it. It's about to happen, and we gonna it's gonna be crazy because I'm telling you right now, it's going to be ridiculously nuts. I'm looking forward to it though. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have fun with it. I know I'm gonna get a little frustrated. I know it, but it's part of course for fighting games, and I think that's where people lose themselves. Disparity says we should talk about that Mortal Kombat. Oh Lord.
What happened with Mortal Kombat?
Oh Lord. Oh, I'm glad you asked, sir. I'm
playing that right now.
Oh Lord, no, I'm not about
to. What happened with Mortal Kombat?
The new DLC is like $50.
DLC is dropping. Yeah, new DLC is dropping. Okay, it's coming. It's coming real soon.
September 29th.
Yep. Exactly. Mortal Kombat 1 has already treated fighting game fans to sell a lineup of post-launch characters. With its first combat pack, Homelander, Omni-Man, and the crew really delivered. Well, NetherRealm is showing no signs of slowing as it heads in year 2. Because 6 more incredible fighters. Yes, 6 more characters are coming. Yes.
Sector and Cyrax are females now?
Female in mech armor suits.
Bro.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, what?
They got put Conan in there?
Yep.
Scream,
yep.
Ghostface, and the T-1000.
It's
look,
like,
I already, dude,
I'm just over it.
Anybody else noped out? I already noped out. When I saw, I'm like, is that Cyrax? They gender swapped. I'm like, I'm out. I'm good.
I'm done. Yeah, nah, dude. I was gonna get it maybe when that game was like $20 and the Ultimate Edition came out, but nah, I'm all right.
I'm not getting it. I haven't got it at all yet.
Me neither. I haven't even touched it.
I'll go play Dead or Alive. But yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. I just want to throw that in there real quick.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I only want to come out to play online for a little bit and check out the DLCs. I'm probably gonna refund it by tonight, most likely. I'm not gonna lie to you. See. This is why things like Game Pass is needed. You know, so that buyer's remorse doesn't come into play. You know, and it's like, look. So see, for me, I'm real big on lore, and for people who know about more the Lin Kuei Mortal Kombat, the Cyber Initiative, that was like one of the biggest plot points for it in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 9,
Right.
10, and 11. You know, and the fact that it'd be like, okay, well, yeah, it's a new world and all that, but it's like, you know, gender swapping is one thing, but it'd be like, yeah, you know, we're gonna do mech suits, and I'm like, okay, like you didn't
No,
really
they didn't
have to
fuck
do
up.
that.
They
You
used
know,
they used the reset of the timeline to fuck up the lore. That's what that was. I saw it when they used it, and I was like, no, I'm good.
mhm.
Like, not even the air juggles can get me. I was like, oh, they got air juggles in this game. Nope.
Nah,
Disparity, yes. Like, bruh, bring in some old females or new characters. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Now, the T1000 shit, okay. I was like, all right, yo, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool. Conan, that's cool, right?
Conan,
But, like,
yeah, we can. I can fuck with that. Scream, okay. I don't know how they're gonna deal with that, but okay, cool. We can do that. But why? See, you notice they bring in everybody else they cool with, but like when it comes to their own characters, they fuck it up.
yeah, I
Like
mean, like,
and all the male characters, not all the male characters. I'm telling you, for the most part, I'm telling you, Conan's gonna be shirtless. He's not gonna be covered up from head to toe. He's not gonna have a Conan shirt on him. You know what I'm saying? You know, with a dad bod. Oh no. He is going to be fleshed out in all his fleshy glory. Okay, with an 8-pack. I'm telling you, they're gonna put that shit up.
but you see, what they could have done is that at the end of the Mortal Kombat story, they have mixtures of different characters. Why can't you just add that? You know, yeah, you know, this add all the fusion characters in a combat pack. That would have made more sense.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Or I don't know, man. I just don't, like I said, I wouldn't feel in the game anymore anyway. I wouldn't feel in. I stopped playing. Like I uninstalled 11.
Yeah, you know what? Like just make Injustice 3. Just get started on Injustice 3, please.
That's what I thought was gonna happen with this, because they added all the superheroes in Mortal Kombat 1. I was like, so Injustice 3, what is this? This is our Injustice 3 replacement? Jesus.
They got to make a Injustice 3, because like, you know, after watching Infinite Crisis on Earth Part 1, 2, and 3, it's like, okay, they're resetting the DC universe. Okay, you know, I mean, like WB Games, you know, like y'all gotta get started. NetherRealm Studios, and Injustice 3 gotta follow.
Man, these people ain't beating allegations of being stupid. They're not. Speaking of allegations, we're gonna segue into the last topic.
No. Oh, God.
I like that segue. That segue was good. Best segue I've done. Hey,
not bad.
Hey, look, sir, Miss Favor, don't make me get my jack on you, okay? Shut up.
Hey, I said it was not bad. What are you talking about?
No. Okay, you only have a 2 in 20 chance to beat me. Okay,
listen.
I'm joking.
I'll get better.
I'm joking.
I moved up the ranks with my character.
I'm fucking with you, but let's go ahead and get this last one out the way, because I know this is gonna be a big one. Oh boy, the Ava Kris Tyson. For those who don't recognize that name, if Mr. Beast rings a bell to y'all, you know,
jeez,
yeah, that Mr. Beast, one of the people that were working with Mr. Beast, was allegedly texting minors with actual proof, unlike a certain doctor that
overwhelming,
overwhelming proof, unlike a certain doctor that, you know, somebody was like, oh, he said what he said, she said, oh, I work at Twitch, I found out that this happened, no proof. But I you know what? No, let me not, because see, I was gonna say that. I'm gonna wait till later. I'm gonna save it. So what y'all like? Have y'all caught up with any of this stuff, Zon? Like, Zon, you've been a quiet assassin. I'm gonna call you out right now. So how you feeling? What you think about this, man? What you matter of fact, I'm gonna put you right here, right there.
Honestly, I think the whole thing is pretty disgusting. I say all the time, I don't care what the situation is, leave kids alone. Just leave them alone. That like I don't know why it's so hard for people to just leave kids alone. And then like I'm happy for Mr. Beast that he's getting his own investigation. But at the same time, I feel like some more stuff is gonna come out about Mr. Beast, and he's also gonna tank pretty soon. Also, I don't have confirmation. I'm just from observation.
I heard some stuff too about Mr. Beast with how he got popular too. That there was some stuff that, some hearsay going on about him that he wasn't too clean either.
Yeah, same.
But like I said, I don't put it past nobody nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, people got to do what they got to do to make it. So I what I don't like, besides the kid stuff, right? What I don't like is these channels that literally are around just to document the fall or the real the exposés of people. I'm not really a fan of that in general. Especially people that are just, because me, they're like fucking vultures. You know what I'm saying? They're looking to define a story, and a lot of these people, in my personal opinion, are not really looking to find the truth. They're looking to get, once again, clickbait, clicks. The real reason why Mr. Behavior is canceled type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of stuff. Like the people that do that type of stuff, and y'all see it all the time on YouTube videos. I'm not a fan of that. Like, I'm not necessarily a fan. Yeah, does it make for an interesting story or theory sometimes? Sure, whatever. But at the same time, come on, bro. Like, if that's all your shit is, you gotta do better. But Jay Wolves, what you got to say about that?
You see, as someone who is someone that's pay close enough to his stuff, it bugs me on a deep level, because it brings it once again, it shows the hypocrisy when it comes to the content creator community and social media as a whole. Because like the response to this whole thing has just been, of course it is bad, but this doesn't mean that the whole demographic of this one individual is guilty of it. And it's like, no one has even mentioned the community at all. So why are you bringing that up?
But they will. That's the crazy part.
Yeah,
they will. They'll blame the entire community for one person. Once again, with Dr. Disrespect, they was calling for that man. They was looking for that man's head.
Exactly. And see this, this kind of opens up to a bigger conversation, to the fact that it's like, when it comes to content creators, it's good to be fans of them. It's good to donate to them, even good to support what they do. But for God's sakes, don't put them on a pedestal. Don't not put these content creators on a pedestal, because guess what? They're human just like the rest of us, and they make mistakes just like the rest of us as well. And not only that, but it's like, you really don't know people as well you think you do, and these parasocial relationships on social media needs to end. That needs to stop.
I agree with that.
I don't think it's going to, because honestly, what the internet has done, what the internet, social media has done in general, has literally exposed everything. Right? It's brought to light a lot of shit. Okay, it's brought everybody closer together. It's brought everybody closer together, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, everything. Right? I agree. Some of this stuff needs it, but it's really this is good for, I feel, evaluation. This is really good evaluation tools. Right? I will say this. Now, as somebody, I've worked with kids. When I was like younger, I've worked with kids. When I used to be in church. I've worked with, had youth and stuff like that. I've been in the youth programs, stuff like that. I've seen stuff like that. And I will agree that yes, leave kids alone. But I also will tell people, dude, that does not mean, because the way a lot of these people are talking, I have to ask them this. I'm like, so when people say, oh, well, just leave the kids alone, blah, blah, blah. Well, no one should talk to minors ever. Okay. Do you talk to minors? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you sure? Like, there's so many people that are overdoing this.
LG, context matters, though. Context matters.
Right? I know this.
You know what I'm saying?
You know this. I know this. You know this. However, the reason why I ask this is because, once again, there's too many people right now that are trying to cover for Mr. Beast right now, or cover for Kris right now, that were calling for the head of Dr. Disrespect.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's the double standard that I'm looking at. Like Dr. Disrespect, there was no proof. To this day, there's no proof. There's just he said, she said, quite literally. Okay. This one person that was a Twitch former employee, they exposed the emails, right? And then you had Dr. Disrespect that had his side of the story. Okay. But we don't have any proof. We don't have the chat logs. We don't have all of this stuff. And for those of y'all, I gotta say this real quick. And for those of y'all that are sitting there, talking about niggas is weird for wanting chat logs, eat one.
Yeah, and this
No.
kind of brings up a conversation that needs to be had with how about people got kids having access to the internet and way are they're parented, because the thing that bothers me about some parents these days is that they believe that giving kids online access is somehow benefiting them. But in a way it doesn't, is because that because like when your kids at school, that's 8 hours. A lot can happen in 8 hours. Too much can happen in 8 hours. And God forbid if a kid lives in a dual income home, because unfortunately the way the economy is now, that's kind of how it is. You kind of need a dual income to even make it in some of these towns. Like kids can have up to 12 hours of internet access on with no with nobody watching them. And honestly, the whole thing with Twitch and Kick, I really think that they need to have some kind of safeguards in place, or something. Because I know they have it already, but I think a conversation or further conversation needs to be had, because now kids are starting to become wise to parental controls and things of that nature, and they can kind of like get past it. And the sad thing is that, as we've seen on TikTok, kids are stupid and kids are impressionable. If you see something popular, like the whole devious flick thing a couple of years ago, like they're going to emulate it, and not only emulate it, they're going to ramp it up to a whole different level. And that concerns me for kids of this generation, because we really don't know the length people will go for attention. Clout is a very, very dangerous drug. It truly is.
Part of the problem, and I've said this before, right? This is your first time hearing me say this. Mr. Behavior's heard me talk about this. Disparity's heard me talk about this. The problem is the parents aren't at home teaching, right? Because there's nothing wrong. I personally believe there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with putting your, you can let your kids watch TV. I don't like, what I don't like is the parents that go overboard and be like, oh, my kids will never watch TV. My kids will never watch blah, blah, blah. They will never know anything about pop culture, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That you're saying you can't prepare for that, on that, my personal opinion. But what you need to do is we need to let our kids, okay, if I have a child, for example, I put something in front of them, right? And I think, okay, this might work. Okay, cool. But if I see something that's like, okay, that's not, wait a minute, that's a little too mature for you right now. Let's don't watch that episode right now. Okay, we'll talk about that when you're not old enough for that yet. You know what I'm saying? Because back in my day, and I hate sounding like an old ass man for this. Back in my day, you know what I'm saying? I didn't play that. My mom didn't let me play certain games. She looked at the rating. She said, "Okay, this is rated T for teen. Okay, you're not old enough to play this game. Okay." Sometimes she'll let certain things pass, because she wasn't really into games like that. So she didn't know any better. Okay, she didn't really. She tried. The effort was there. You know what I'm saying? Now the effort isn't even there, and it's sad because now you got people that are gamers now, and they should be doing this for their kids, and they don't. And they're just throwing the shit in front of their children. That's the problem. And then not only are they throwing shit in front of their kids, they are crying to these companies to parent their children. What's this happening with Twitch? People are complaining to Twitch about, oh, well, this, and the third is happening. Why are you letting this happen on your site? Well, why aren't you as a parent not doing your fucking job? Why are you letting little Timmy take your fucking credit card to give to, Slutty McSlut Pants over here, you know what I'm saying? Begging you for for money, he's not it up for money. You know what I'm saying? Why, that's my problem. Now, granted, certain things like I've always said with the adult content on Twitch like that, or that gray area shit with the hot tubs and all of that, that doesn't need to be on Twitch. That's my thing, right? There's plenty of sites that you could do that on that do a way better job of moderation, you know what I'm saying, and cultivation for that type of content. But they don't want to be stigmatized. That's the thing. They don't want the stigma. They can eat it. They can eat a fat one on that one, all right? But that's the problem right now with this. That's the biggest issue right now, is that this is being exposed that people are not properly training their kids. And with the stuff with Tyson, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's foul. Like I worked with kids before. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, like, with me being a content creator, hey, a kid may come on my shit. It is what it is, right? But what I'm not about to do, okay, and me and Miss P ever kind of went back and forth with this one. I'm not responsible for nobody's kid, bro. That ain't mine. That ain't come out of here.
Of course, yeah, I know, but of course you're
come
not.
out of here.
But like, according to the law, that doesn't matter. So in the context of what he's talking about, I was saying, like, if we have in our Discord an SFW channels and there happens to be minors in there, and then somehow an NSFW, a corn channel. If you have that in the Discord and somehow minors get access to it, and then somebody puts that information online and says, "Hey, there's minors looking at corn in this Discord," then that's our ass. Shit. It doesn't matter if you don't like that idea or if you don't think that should make sense or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's irrelevant. The point is that everybody would be like, "Yo, y'all let minors do that,"
and we can easily, right? But we can easily, like I said, for everybody. And that's the other problem too. Everybody's worried about public opinion without.
It's not even just public opinion. Like there's social ramifications to those kinds of things, and it's just like my whole point is, like, it's not worth the risk on that at all. Like there's no reason.
I mean, honestly,
but you don't gain anything, and you have a lot to lose.
And if that's the case, then don't put minors in there. Period.
But that's what I'm saying. People can lie. We don't know anybody. We don't know these people.
Okay, but
that's exactly how a lot of people get caught up in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It's like people just
once
lie.
Again, and that goes with what I said earlier. Parents need to actually go in there.
Sure.
This is part of the problem.
I agree with you. That has nothing to do with the reality of the situation, though. I agree.
I get it.
To do with what I'm talking about, though.
I get it, but at some point, when you say, "Well, that's the reality," you're letting the shit slide.
It's not I'm letting this slide. It's just how it works. It has nothing to do with my personal opinion. It's just how shit works. As zero to do with how I feel about it.
Right. But what I'm saying in society, in order for something to change, there has to be some kind of line in the sand.
That's not going to change.
Yeah. Watch me.
It's not going to change. It's not.
Watch me.
We're especially not going to change it in this call.
That's fine. That's fine.
I do think at the end of the day that everybody that's involved and potentially showing minors content like that, we need to have. I think all of it need to come to a mutual understanding that all of us do play a part in it. However, all parts are not equal. Because parents do have a responsibility to their kids. However, people who can bring access to that need to have an understanding that that kids are shifty, they're cunning, and they can lie their asses off very, 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 very good. I think everyone involved needs to have a sense of vigilance, and I think that sense of vigilance and being forward thinking instead of like being paranoid. I think that'd be the first steps, because unfortunately the sad part of it is you can't stop it all, unfortunately, as we've seen on social media. You can't stop everything, but I think the first step is understanding that and doing everything you can to prepare children for what they may or may not see, and understand that, hey, you're gonna, you may or may not come across things that may not make sense to you. You may see things that disturb you. You may see things that you wish you never seen. And we have to build we have to build that trust, so kids can be like, hey, hey, I saw this and this kind of like really threw me off, or I don't like this, or this person was showing me that, and we can kind of take those steps to be like, hey, we can expose these people, because there's so many bad
those
actors.
that are so you're saying those that are let me make sure I understand what you're talking about. So basically those that are doing like what Chris Tyson Tyson did. Those people exist. I'm not and I will say this, because I know somebody's gonna look at this and be like, well, you're denying that these people exist. No, I know that there's shitty people out there in the world who prey on children. No shit. That's no question, right? And those people need to be stopped. However, there's also a problem where people get into assumptions, right? And there's also, like you said earlier, kids can be shifty as well. For example, how many times have people talked about, there's people that were younger now, that are adults now, that were younger, doing going sneaking off and making fake IDs to get access to cigarettes, to get access to alcohol, to get into clubs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that once again, that villages on all, once again, like I said, I agree with you on the villages part. That needs to happen on all sides. And like I said, I'm falling back on parents, because that's where it starts. Because not every parent's perfect. Yeah, some kids are going to slip through the cracks. It is what it is. That's life. I get it. However, if you are going to at least make an effort to be in a child's life, and be an actual effort, I'm not talking about maybe this, that, and the third. No, actual effort to be in your kid's life. Sometimes it might be a little uncomfortable. Sure, I get it. But hey, sometimes you got to let them know, hey, look, this doesn't look right. You know what I'm saying? Why are you talking to this person? Who is this person? You know what I'm saying? You're 15. Why are you talking? Why are you doing this, that, and the third? Why are you blah 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 boo? You know what I'm saying? Or if you are in that atmosphere, because there are some people that are in that adult atmosphere or whatever, properly teach properly. That's where I said it begins at home. If you are going to, show your kids that type of stuff, properly teach them. Show them by age range or maturity, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? It may sound weird. Okay, sure. To some people on the outside, what you do with your family is none of my business. You know what I'm saying? But but I will say this, we gotta start, like right now, it's obvious that there is a lack of actual parenting, you know what I'm saying, going on somewhere, because there ain't no way you're gonna sit up here, get mad at, Amaranth for showing her titties on Twitch when, there's no rules against it like that much, really. But Twitch's terms of service is kind of spotty at best, but there's no rules for it, okay, or rules against it. She's doing it, and your kids are watching it. Instead of you telling your kids, hey, don't watch it or block it, there's like, for every one complaint that people have, there's family parental controls on almost every device that you can activate. Like I have yet to see a parental, like a smartphone without a parental control device. I've yet to see a tablet, you know what I'm saying, without parental controls. I've yet to see a laptop, Chromebook, without parental controls nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
what's stopping you?
That's fine. All that's great, right? That's not that's.
But in this case, once again, I have to reiterate this. In this case, with Tyson, he's foul. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
But We need to, like I said, I still say that we need the logs for Dr. Disrespect, because until then, and I think that's really unfair. If we're gonna do this, that's really unfair what they did with Dr. Disrespect. That's a fact. I think that's a full-blown fact.
I don't even think that there was wasn't he didn't he say that he didn't know that person was a minor?
He said allegedly he did, but then there was he edited the post a few times.
Oh,
so,
okay. Well, I don't
he had edited the post. Some people took screenshots of it before he edited it, and after he edited it and all that shit. It was weird. It's a whole weird conundrum. That's why it was one of those things where it just didn't sit right. They already didn't like Dr. Disrespect anyway. That was the other problem.
Yeah, right.
Well, he admitted to it and said that I was talking to a minor, and sometimes our conversation would teeter on inappropriate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's not a thing of we need to see the logs. He said it himself, you know.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I hate to be like somebody said I could be a lawyer, and I can see it now when I'm about to ask. Because inappropriate's a wide term.
I agree. Here's my thing, because we can make inappropriate jokes right here, and that don't mean we're directing them at a minor or anything like that, or we're trying to get in each other's pants or anything like that. Some jokes just come up as inappropriate.
No. No means no means no, Wolfie.
No means no, man. but some jokes do sometimes just come up as inappropriate, and maybe there was jokes that was made with the inappropriateness of a minor involved. The problem is if you knew it was a minor, that should have been it right then and there. I have no reason to talk to a minor in any situation, like whether it was referring to games, whether it's referring to discourse or anything. I don't want to talk to a minor. Get me away from them.
You know what? You present a problem. You present a bit of a problem here. I get it. I get why. But you just talked about what you just said. Kind of highlights what Wolfie's was talking about with the whole paranoia part. You get what I'm saying? That's what we don't want. I don't want you to be paranoid and talking with a minor. You just got to know how to, hey, bro, hey, nah, bro.
It's not even a point of being. It's not even a point of being paranoid. You literally just said earlier, people are looking to get people canceled.
Yeah.
And if that's the environment we're gonna be in today as humans, we have to adapt and realize sometimes it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Well, like I said, there are some. Yes, you're partially correct. My thing is, like I said, I'm thinking more of on a positive, holistic note, right?
Absolutely.
It's because, so say for example, we make a content, we have these podcasts, or whatever. People are gonna come in and watch. It is what it is, right? And hey, if a minor comes in and asks you, "Hey, Zone, I really like what you said," they don't, you didn't know that they're a minor. They're just sitting there talking with you, having a conversation. Then they say, "Oh, well, I am a minor." Oh, then you just shut them off. You know what I'm saying? You cut them off like that.
That's
That's it. That's kind of like, bro, you can't do that. Hey, now there's certain things. Now, me personally, I mean, you can do that, but me personally, in my personal opinion, that's kind of, to me, it's kind of rude. You know what I'm saying?
It depends on the conversation. Like you said, in this situation, if we're talking and a minor messages me, if someone messages me and says, "Hey, I like what you said. Can you explain?" And while I'm explaining, at the end of the conversation, they'd be like, "Hey, and by the way, I'm a minor." I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I appreciate you, for asking the question or whatever, like I would normally do with a regular person." But then I would say, maybe you should find different sources or someone more closely related to your age, because I would tell them I personally don't feel comfortable with talking to someone that's underage.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, and like I said, and it goes from person to person, because me, like I said, I'm not against it, but I'm very picky about the conversation, because once it goes past a certain point, I'll be the first one to be like, where your mom at? Where your daddy?
Facts.
Facts. Nah, bro, this is you in the, this ain't Call of Duty right now. We're not playing Call of Duty right now. You can't get in the lobby, talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? go that way, go that way. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, but like to completely turn people away because you never know what situation and what today's society. Like I said, society needs like what social media needs to rehaul anyway. I personally think because there's too many double standards, way too many. That's a whole nother episode that we could probably talk about. But in this once again, and I will double back, and I'm saying it here in this case, what old boy or whatever they identified as at this point, they did with especially with the proof. There is no question. There is no question they crossed the line, and the same level of Dr. Disrespect, and I'm gonna keep harping on it. The same level of vitriol that they gave Dr. Disrespect, they need to have that for Kris Tyson. And I don't. That's one thing I do not like how people are not as they're like, oh well, it was wrong, you know, bad Tyson, bad. No, where's his sponsorships? Get him fired. Get him. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're gonna do that to anybody, we got to get that. If we're gonna cancel anybody, right? We cancel the people that are actually and actively doing wrong. And I mean that have no intent of doing better. You know what I'm saying? That's what if we're going to cancel, we shouldn't cancel anybody. But if we do, that's what it should be for. The lowest of the low, the people who do not, who are what's the word? Irrehensible. I think that's the word.
Yeah. Irreprehensible.
Irrehensible. The people that are beyond redemption, the people that have it set in their ways, the school shooters, if you will. You know what I'm saying? The ones that have no remorse, them niggas, get them out of here. You know,
It's kind of funny though because like you know like all of them have something in common. It's like don't take this as like all transgenders can do this. Like, but the fact that you're coming at this with kids gloves, you're kind of making a point that you telling us all transgender are not like this, but the fact that the response versus Kris Tyson, Dr. Respect, the fact that Kris Tyson is a transgender individual, you're going to have people be like, hey, you're coming with kid gloves, you're protecting this transgender individual. Does that mean all transgenders are like this? You know, because like you see the people who think weird like that are going to come to that kind of messed up conclusion. That you know, Dr. Respect, a straight male versus Kris Tyson, a transgender individual. And the differences in responses, you're breeding that level of resentment you're trying so hard to avoid.
Right. Or that or they don't care. One of the two. I think that's what that is too. I think a lot of the people that's in that community, well, at least according to social media, because there are some people that are outside of like that are LGBTQ or whatever outside of social media that are not that liberal minded or whatever. They're not so effed up in the head by social media that will sit up here and say, hey, no, they don't even bother with kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even, like, they're like zone. They're like, you know, nah, bucko, like, get away from me. I don't even want to look at somebody. If I think you're underage, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, type stuff, you know? So it's really, like I said, it really needs to come to light. Like, a lot of this stuff, like I said, it's wrong. Like, that shit is straight up wrong because there's other people out there, and I know somebody's gonna try to twist that to whatever narrative about, oh well, what about this man, or what about when this man did this, or this man did, or like, look, can we stop with the what about is we talking about right here, right now? This shit right here is something that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be taken out. Like he needs to be taken care of. He needs to be sat down. He needs to be, of course, fair trial if needed. You know, well, not if needed, but you know what the point. Fair trial. Okay, if convicted, jail time, bucko. You know what I'm saying? Lock him up. You know what I'm saying? And you know how it is in the jail. They don't play when it comes to kids.
Yeah, you know, because I worked in a prison as a mental health therapist, and you know, if you ever heard the term traumas, that's basically what they are. You know, my experience with that is that, you know, like if trust me, inmates in prison, they are very, very adept in information gathering because people talk, CEOs talk, therapists talk, security, wardens, fire marshals, everybody talk. And it takes one person to find out the whole unit's gonna find out for the end of the day. I'll give you an example. We had so I worked in a psych ward, and so we had an influx of new inmates come in, kind of found out 2 or 3 of them were convicted of acts against a minor. I have never seen social isolation at that level like I saw in that prison, because every time those people walked out, you can literally hear the whole unit came to a silent. You could hear a pin drop, right? And it was watching those individuals walk around. And it took, and trust me, like I didn't, good thing is like no one like really started anything, no one fights or
but
anything.
they will.
However,
they will fight. Like I haven't never really been, but I know that's one. It's like being in the hood. One thing they don't play with. You heard an innocent kid that like they a lot of people's morals are fucked up, but for some reason when it comes to kids, it's like, hey, you fuck with somebody's kids unjustly. That's it. I
was there for a couple months doing the whole situation, and I'm just seeing these people just like, they sat alone, ate alone. If anyone even approached them, fierce conversations will break out, things like that. But see, the reason I didn't fight is because of this. It's because that if it came out that they were involved in like fights and shit like that, it'll take longer for them to get out of the program that they're in. So they kind of had no choice but to be on their best behavior, because I can't say much though, but I'll say in that program they will find any and all reason not to let you out of that prison. And they were dead serious about it too. Like, I mean, the fire marshal will come down and fuck with people just to get them to do something. It was. I mean, that was in South Carolina, in the South. Yeah, you know how it is in the South. When it comes to shit like in law enforcement in the South, they will find any reason to have your ass locked up for way longer than you were supposed to be, and it was kind of fucked up. So that's the reason why, that's the reason why I left that prison. Yeah, I was actually fired because, like, honestly, I couldn't take it anymore. It was so corrupt on so many levels. But I'm saying all to say this, see, Kris Tyson needs to watch Kris Tyson needs to watch themselves from now on, because guess what? In case you didn't know, Kris Tyson left behind a wife and kid, and guess what? And guess what? They are just as affected as Kris is, and that's the sad thing is because it's like social isolation. Social isolation goes so further out. There's so many degrees separation between that, and so I feel bad for that kid. I feel bad for Kris's son, because guess what? That kid is at an age where he has no idea what is going on, and now that kid's going to have to go to preschool, kindergarten, first grade, and that stain of what Kris did is going to be behind him for God knows how long, because the internet never forgets. It never ever forgets.
That's true, and I think honestly, at some point, and that's also part of the problem too. Like at some point, especially when people are trying to do better, and because I had a situation, there's somebody that I know, but I'm not gonna go into too much detail about it, because at one point he got caught up, and this is the other end of the situation of the spectrum when it comes down to the whole minor thing. The guy that I know, he got caught up in a situation about 15 years ago. And basically he was at a club. From what he told me, he was at a club. The person was a minor. He didn't know they were a minor until after the fact. That person, they snuck into a club. That's how they met, allegedly, from what I was told. And basically he got caught up. The judge basically put everything through to make a point, to use him as an example. Now he has that on his record. And it's crazy how when you're trying to do better for yourself, and that stain on your record, people, like you said, the internet, there are people that always try to bring that up. And one thing I kept trying to tell him, and I don't talk to him a lot. It's every so often. And I got people trying to tell me that I'm defending this type of, I'm defending him, I'm defending a child predator.
Yeah, real quick, I gotta jump you up, boys. I'm gonna let y'all finish this.
Yeah,
it's good chatting with y'all.
Yeah, let them know where they can find you at, Behavior.
Oh yeah. You can go youtube.com/Mr. Behavior. Just search Mr. Behavior on YouTube, and then I'm Ultimate Mr. B on X, so you can find me there.
Yeah. Hey, you have a good one. Be safe, huh?
All right, brother.
Friday. All right, and then there were 3 of us. Haha. But no, so yeah, I got people like sitting there thinking, like the dude, this happened 15 years ago, and the dude's trying to do better with his life, from what I'm seeing, he's made his peace, he's trying to do better. And the problem with people in society is the people that are trying to do better, they try to hold them back. You know what I'm saying? But the people that are actively doing wrong, they, for some reason, don't have that same energy. That's a problem to me. I feel like that's the biggest problem right now. Like, what are we fucking doing, people? You know what I'm saying? Like that's my issue with this shit. It's like, what are we doing? Okay. And like you said, Jay Wills, you got a point. With that same energy, that response, people are going to think that, oh, all trans people are like that, when it may not be the case. But people, once again, when it comes down to this public opinion shit, some people can't think past the headlines. How many people have we seen that look at a headline and just go straight in? You feel me? Like they going in on a headline. They don't even take the time to click on the headline. You know what I'm saying? To read. They just look at the headline, look at the post. That's it. And that is one of the biggest issues with our society right now, is that we have way too many people that that are just headliners, reading headlines, and that's it. And they don't see past that. You know what I'm saying? So with society, what has to happen? There has to be a level of aggression towards actual offenders, but then there's also got to be enough grace for people that learn from their ways and trying to do better. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I mean, of course, though, yeah, because because forgiveness is a luxury. However, we must remember that actions will always show a person's intent and not words. So we have to do, because there have been people that has messed up in the past, and they're actually trying to do a much better thing, because there's a guy, his name was Albert, right? And he was involved in a group called Off on TV. He cheated on his girlfriend, Lily Peach, at the time, right? What he did was he basically he left it in there for a year, worked on himself, saw a therapist. He came back, made a video where he took full accountability of what he did, and basically, and he's actively trying to do right. So so we must remember that people are capable of making mistakes. Lord knows I made mistakes. I'm pretty sure that both of you know that you made mistakes where he's like, hey, I know I fucked up. I'm not perfect. However, I'm trying to be a better man every day. Every single day we're trying to be better. And so people, social media, we have to remember that it's hard out here for some people, because that stain never goes away. You have to learn. People got to learn how to live with it. However, if people actions do not match the words that they say, because people could say, "I'm sorry, forgive me, I didn't mean to do it," but actions will always speak the loudest. So so like, without disrespect, look, I'm when I found my disrespect, I didn't say anything, because it's like, I'm not perfect, so who am I to judge this man? Because sure, he's messed up. However, I want to see how he bounced back from this. I want to see exactly what are you going to do to make people think that, okay, you are actually forgiving, you are actually worth of forgiveness. Because and that's something about the court of public opinion that gets on my nerves so much, is that people think that like people are just everyone who made a mistake on social media are unworthy of forgiveness. And some people are. I'm not gonna say some people are not. However, you have to give people that space, that opportunity to figure out, okay, what kind of person are they going to be? Because in the end, you will always know what kind of person someone is, depending on how they deal with the adversity that they're given. Adversity is a cornerstone of improvement, in my opinion.
Zone, what you think, man? What you think, Zone?
Personally, with the whole situation, especially with the Kris Ava stuff, One of the things that they kept trying to put in the way of the whole situation is that people kept misgendering Kris Tyson and instead of them actually paying attention to, hey, this person is talking to a minor, they will go, well, you're misgendering them. So, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yo, like,
no, they messing with a kid, dude. Like they literally are.
You guys want to defend whoever y'all want to defend, but like with Dr. Disrespect and sure, I'm not supporting any one of them because you know, like I mean, it's like you said, people make mistakes, but at the same time, I'm good on both of them. However, like when it comes to the levels, Kris is way lower compared to like a Dr. Disrespect. So of course, Dr. Disrespect is gonna lose all the sponsors, all the things. The news is just gonna be bigger when it comes to Dr. Disrespect in general. However, when it comes to Kris don't have as many sponsors from what I know. So maybe they haven't come out yet. Maybe he don't have any sponsors at all that he would lose. But he did stop working with we did stop working with Mr. Beast. And again, like I said, some stuff is gonna come out from Mr. Beast. In my opinion, I don't know this to be fact, but Mr. Beast is gonna be toast soon too.
Mm-hmm. I honestly think with these bigger streamers too, like I know a lot of people, like I've seen a lot of people talk about this too. With these bigger streamers, it's like, oh well, you know, these bigger streamers, it's a problem, blah 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 blah. And all this people, and I don't know, a lot of people talk shit about these content creators and stuff like that. And it's other content creators too. That's the funny part. And I've noticed what it is. It's jealousy. It's coming from a place of jealousy, and some of these people are glad that these people are being exposed because now they feel like they have a chance to come up now. And I don't know if y'all have noticed this in the creator space, but a lot of these creators, and I fought with a lot of creators on this, that sat up here and thought that, because the white man is holding us back, because these popular white creators, we can't fully succeed because of XYZ, because of these popular creators. And I've always said it's not necessarily true. That's not always true. Okay. It's not. The pie isn't fixed, but for whatever reason, these clowns think it is. And I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. So now these people are like, these people are kind of like happy, low key. Because like I said, I'm not really a fan of Dr. Disrespect. I know who he is. I've seen some of his work from time to time, but I do know that they were after that man for a long ass time, for a good minute.
Mr. Beast too.
Yeah, Mr. Beast too. They didn't like him for a good ass minute because they didn't like Mr. Beast because he was doing good work. You know what I'm saying? They didn't like the fact that he was helping other people or whatever humanitarian work. And a lot of people, still don't like that shit. And it's fucking stupid.
To be honest, it's kind of unfortunate that like Mr. Beast did kind of get wrapped up in this Kris situation, because like you said, they've been trying to get Mr. Beast for quite some time now. And for a minute, like I was going on saying, nah, this is fake. They just trying to get him. Yeah. But now here we are and they got him. And it's kind of sad to see, like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, like that, like stuff like that, it affects a lot more people than just a primary person, because now all Mr. Beast philanthropy is going to come into question. Every motive he's had for all the work he's done is going to come into question. Now people who've been supporting him be like, okay, like, what goes on behind the scenes? It's like, that's the one thing that I hate the most in this situation. It's that Mr. Beast and his philanthropy is going to take a hit because of this. Because people now are going to question every good deed he's going to do in the future and every good deed he has done, to be like, okay, what's the real reason you're doing this? Say, hey, why are you going to Africa and helping people? Why are you helping people after a natural weather situation? Like, what are you really after? It's like, and it's like,
from the same people who can't even go outside the street to help the homeless.
Exactly.
Okay, let me shut up. I'm gonna shut up. I'm sorry. My bad.
Nah, because
Petty.
I've already started seeing think pieces on why Mr. Beast does what he do because he got a guilty conscience and a dark past, and I'm just like, yo, come on.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I think I said at the beginning of the conversation, like how there's a lot of people. I don't like people that do that shit because it's like, okay, why are you so worried about this? Why are you worried about the fall of this person? Why are you so invested? Because now, what are you invested for? Now I have every, since you want to call Mr. Beast into question, let me call you into question. Let's fact check the fact checkers now. Let's do that shit since we want to do this. What's your issue? Well, I just want to do it for integrity. Okay, what integrity do you have? What are you doing? Like, I haven't seen nothing that you put out before. You were doing other content before this. Now all of a sudden you started talking about Mr. Beast. You made one piece on Mr. Beast, and now you getting popular. Now all of a sudden you start to feed into it. You know what I'm saying? I got a clown. There's a clown that I know of right now that, once again, on the comic side of things, that all he does is grift. And now all of a sudden he talks about one comic book creator, you know, that I've supported, that he doesn't necessarily like or whatever. He's gotten a lot of attention for it. Now all he does is grift. You know what I'm saying? All he does is, you know, well, it's the fall of this comic book company. It's the fall of the Rippaverse. It's the fall of that. It's the fall of this. It's the same thing with gaming. Oh, it's the failure of gaming. This is gonna cause gaming to fail. Blah blah blah. Whoop de whoop. I'm like, bro, if you don't shut your, like, where are y'all coming from? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like do you even fucking game? Most of these people don't even fucking care about the content creation space in general, but then they're so invested of the fall of it. Why? Because what? Because you have nothing else to do. You have nothing else to do with your life. The only way you're gonna get attention is by calling out somebody else.
The only integrity they have is making sure other people look worse than they do.
Yeah. And the problem with people like that is when you do stuff like that, it causes to question you, right? That's why, like, when I speak my shit on things, like I said, I always try to give, like, you know, people understand where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, people know my intent behind it. That's the point. I want people to know my intent behind it. That's exactly what I want people to know. You're gonna know my intent behind it. So when people misalign my intent, you know, that's what kind of gets me a little bit, because it's like, hey, no, my intent was here. Why are you taking it here? That's not, I didn't say, for example, with the whole Mr. Beast situation, I'm not defending, you know, what Kris Tyson did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not defending this, that, and the third, or I'm not defending Mr. Beast. You know, if I say, you know, it's okay to talk to them about it, just be careful what you talk to them about. That's not me saying I'm for messing with minors. No. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying treat them like you would. That's what kids want. You know what I'm saying? You treat them like you would treat a regular person. Don't look down on them because they're fucking kids. And it happens to them. Like, the shit happened to them. The people forget that. They got talked down like because they were a kid. You know what I'm saying? How many times they were put down on the the kiddie table when everybody was eating barbecue steak. They had to eat hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? Hot dogs and chips and shit like that.
You got that at the kiddie table.
Yeah, the kiddie table. You know what I'm saying? You know, treat them with some respect, age appropriate, of course, and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have, unless you are a mentor, unless you are a parent, guardian, or mentor, then you shouldn't be, you shouldn't be going in depth with some of these kids. That's just the way I see it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That's my thing. But, I'm about to go ahead and I think that's a good place to stop, for today's episode. I think today was a pretty good episode. Thank you, Mr. Beast, for coming. I mean, Mr. Beast. Thank you, Mr. Beast, for giving us content. Fuck.
Facts.
Thank you, Mr. Behavior. I meant Mr. Behavior. That's what I meant, for coming by, because he left. It's pretty. Thank you, Mr. Beast. What the fuck? Somebody make that a hashtag. God dang it, man. Oh, fuck, man. All right, Zone, since the quiet assassin over here, man. Tell them where they can find you at, broski.
You can find me on all, well, not all things, but most things: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, those 3 social media sites. The Gaming's on. I normally just do gaming news. I'm getting into content pretty soon. I'm just trying to get my living situation a little settled in right now. But once I do, I'm getting back into gaming news, and I try to spit news from a center position. But of course, sometimes we get a little biased. So if you guys are interested in all types of gaming news, please subscribe. Please, follow. And I hope to see you guys later.
Yeah, okay. You can find me on every social media platform at J Wolfies. So yeah, and I'm always around the X a whole lot. So I'm always down to chat about anything, do a little bit of gaming here and there. So yeah, man. So let's chop it up sometime.
Mute it.
I am muted. Anywho, what was I saying? Damn. Y'all can find me on YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff. For the most part, everything except for Instagram. Y'all can find me on all of the good places at 210LG. Instagram is 210 Law. I do music, do gaming. I also have a couple of other podcasts that I'm working on, shows that I'm working on. Empress Court is a general podcast thing that I got going on that I'm working on, where I talk about just different things from social to a little bit of gaming stuff. I got Strip Club Chronicles, where I talk about things that go down in the strip club and also adult entertainment in general. So yeah, I got my latest episode where y'all get to vibe with me specifically at the club. You know what I'm saying? Vibe with me in the DJ booth for a little bit. Feel me? Get to see what goes down, and you can see some lovely ladies, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's all, safe for YouTube, of course. I also have 210lg.com. And yes, we are definitely always welcome on to have more people for the Black Male Gamers. If you guys are welcome back, of course. And don't forget to follow us here at Black Male Gamers. Yeah, where you don't even have to be just a black male to join. Any guys. This is a male centric group. We use Black Male Gamers as a joke to Black Girl Gamers. That was a pop, they were popping off. If you ever heard of them, it was supposed to be a joke, and it just stuck. It just stuck. We just said, fuck it, go with it, keep it. But yeah, anybody's, all guys are welcome. A space where guys, we can have conversation, because I think that's what's needed in our space. We got too many places right now where guys are being left out. Especially right now with society telling us that we ain't shit because we have genitalia hanging and dangling out there. Feel what I'm saying? It's weird. It's crazy how that works. They expect most of us, but we ain't shit, allegedly. Stupid. But anywho, y'all can follow us. I think we have Black Male Gamers on Twitter as well as here on YouTube. All right. We're gonna have another one, I think, next month, at the end of next month. I may not be available for that one, because that one's gonna be probably when San Japan is hitting. And I got plans to go to San Japan and to make a mention. I am going. I went last year. I'm going this year. Damn it, doing it. I'm doing it well. Y'all kiddies, y'all stick around. Don't y'all go to work, because I gotta connect with y'all anyway. All right, but I want to say thank y'all so much. Disparity, appreciate you for coming in and being the head of this thing. It's here. Thank you, thing. You feel me? One of the members of the council. You feel me? As well as Mr. Behavior, one of the council members. And we'll have more conversations like this. If you guys got any topics you want to give to us, you know what I'm saying? Bring it to us. We'll definitely take a look at it. And yeah, that's gonna be it for us. I'll be catching you guys on the next time. Like I say on my channel, peace and God bless.